Our journey so far has been relatively brief. Again, this is only our second adventure, but last week on the hook on our premiere of this conversion of the Curse of the Crimson Throne, and for those of you who missed it, we are converting it. We are playing this Pathfinder 2e style because that is extremely easy to do, fortunately. You literally only need the Game Mastery Guide rules that are free on Archives of Nethys, and you can convert this all super easily yourself. But you could also do what I did, which is somehow be even lazier than that and go to Pathfinder Infinite, where somebody has already done it for you. Give them $5, and then, just go ahead and steal all of their hard work and run it instead.
Purchased fairly.
Purchase their hard work in an exchange of capitalism.
Capitalism!
But our 5 fine fellows here are not terribly familiar with one another. They are all strangers from various walks of life throughout the city of Korvosa who have been brought together by the whims of fate. The very spooky whims of fate, apparently. The very spooky whims of fate with those horror chords going in the background. I dig it. I mean, it's fitting.
That's
We're in a
Korvosa.
spooky place at the moment. We just
Smells
haven't quite
terrible.
gotten there yet.
Yeah.
I just kind of missed the dog.
A fortune teller by the name of Basilia Arialen brought you together to unite you against a common foe that had touched all of your lives in one way or another. Gaedren Lamm, I was going to say crime lord, but that's probably overbilling him, really. Korvosa's a pretty large city. Maybe in a smaller town like, I don't know, Breach Hill, crime lord would be a fitting title for Gaedren. But here he is relatively small fish in an extremely big pond. That's not to say that his operations are not relatively extensive, though, and when you've had dealings with him personally, it doesn't seem very minor at all. A group of you have been led by this fortune teller to an old fishery on the West Pier, near the heart of the city, and in a, relatively ill-maintained, possibly run down would be fitting, area of town, and this building specifically very much fits those descriptions. But you've made your way in, guided by a unified cause of vengeance, I guess. We're good characters, I promise. Probably, we're heroes.
Well, if we're going to take him and turn him in, we are being good
And
characters.
you have killed nobody, though several of those within the fishery have stood to attempt to stop you. You have kind of carefully made sure to incapacitate them non-lethally while they were stabbing the hell out of you. And here, as we begin our second episode, we had just concluded taking down a small gnome in Hookshanks in the employ, theoretically, of Gaedren Lamm here.
And a bunch of small children.
Freeing's perhaps a strong word.
Sending outside.
Sending outside a whole bunch of orphans.
It's going to get dangerous in here.
You would all, at least
kind of stand out there.
You are all now very much familiar with Lamb's Lambs. A bunch of
I used to be one.
less fortunate youngsters from the less fortunate areas of Korvosa who either had really nowhere else to go or no better idea than to throw their lot in with Gaedren. You have liberated a group of them that were toiling here shortly after sundown to try to push a large pile of very rancid fish slop through some sluices down to a processing chamber of some sort below. And after your fight up here, gunshots and all, it appears that the people downstairs probably heard that as they, yelled up to you. You made a passable attempt to sort of...
Goad.
Yeah, I'm gonna say call them out. That's what you did.
I mean,
anger them further.
because why not?
And that is where we begin this adventure. Many of the lambs in this room you have kind of shepherded out to the entryway and out of the way, clearing the area for now, leaving it just with the overwhelming stench of rotten fish and whatever is on the back side of this door that leads further into the fishery itself. The man thing below, very deep, gravelly voice, very high-pitched, weird, giggling laughter after you attempted to call them out. Hasn't been followed up by anything immediately, leaving the group of you in this upper chamber here doing what?
Watching the door.
Got a crossbow pointed at the door.
Yeah.
You got a very large explodey crossbow pointed at the door.
I feel like this. I mean, I feel like this could be it, right? Right?
What?
Like that could be him.
Don't say things like that.
Like what?
Like this could be it.
No, I meant like the person.
Like we're gonna get out of here.
No, I didn't say we weren't. I don't know. Are we? Are we gonna get out of
We
here?
are totally gonna get out of here. I will get you out of here.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm gonna get them out of here. I'm gonna get me out of here.
I mean, the door's right over there if you want to leave.
No, not that way. That's not what I meant.
What did you mean then?
If no one's immediately crashing through the door,
They're not. You haven't heard really.
Okay.
You can hear still some low sounds. Relatively unpleasant kind of squelching noises coming from not far past these sluice gates up top. And some low murmurings like clackings of wood and metal. But the voice has not engaged you any further.
well, I guess Darren's gonna sneak forward, stow the crossbow, grab Hookshanks. Well, I guess this is the first time I've heard his name, so I guess this is Hookshanks. Grab my
The guy
knife.
downstairs called up.
Huh?
The guy downstairs addressed him as Hookshanks.
Yeah, that's. Well,
Attempted to
I heard
address him
Hookshanks
there.
come up. I thought actually that was a nickname for the kids pushing the sluice through.
Oh.
I thought like, he calls these kids Hookshanks. Okay, fair enough. That's why he answered back like, oh yeah, no, everything's fine. And they're like, who the heck are you?
Fair enough. You grab Hookshanks.
I grab Hookshanks. I'll take my dagger back and kind of drag him out of the line of fire. Still nothing really.
If they ain't coming to us, I reckon we're gonna have to go to them.
Does anybody want a lucky rock?
Sure.
What?
Okay.
I mean-
okay, good. I got them. These are good. These are lucky.
Time up.
As you're finding Hookshanks and John's getting a nice inspirational lucky rock here,
Do you want a lucky rock?
there's not a whole lot
Might
to
as
this
well, I
chamber that
suppose.
you find yourselves in now that you have, again, got most of the orphans out of here and kind of cleared the area safe for yourselves and the unconscious gnome. There is a desk and a chair set next to a cabinet on the opposite side of the room from this kind of fetid pile of fish mass, which at this point is just barely rising up above the 10 to 12 inches of water in the trough. It looks from the stains on the wall, though, like it is traditionally much larger. But it is late in the day. It is shortly after sundown. Perhaps they have largely worked it by now.
They're not coming up.
I think we should go in, right?
I'll let it take a moment. This room actually is very rancid.
Man, might as well go on ahead and get out of here.
Well, I'm all for that.
I'll walk
Ugh,
on over to the door with everyone assumedly
Ra-
coming up behind me.
Rancid.
That's the word.
I assume who's the one that moved through the door here?
I
Me.
think Reth
Reth.
actually
Reth
is
did.
the one out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I've kind of dragged Hookshanks over to tie him up.
Breth moving up, I assume. John, Arden, Flavlin not terribly far behind, and there's Darren.
Darren,
New
yeah.
campaign. I got all these new names. I got so many player character names in my brain. Finishing, making sure the Hookshanks isn't going to be a problem, coming up as well. The simple wooden door bears no lock. It's an interior, flimsy little door that opens with no difficulty, revealing beyond it a much larger chamber than the one that you're currently in. The entire back half of the fishery is one massive processing chamber, where you can look down from your position at the doorway up above the floor to a river slicked chamber filled with bits of slime, algae, and seaweed. Opening this door does nothing to aid with the smell hanging over this chamber. In fact, in this room beyond it is much worse,
Ugh.
as this is the clear destination of the rancid fish slop into a huge vat 15 feet across that you would be standing near directly over. The door itself opens to a wooden staircase that looks less than trustworthy, that leads down to the floor about 10 feet below you and is matched by an upper walkway and an identical staircase on the far side of the room, making kind of a wooden upper catwalk around this processing plant, where you can see another half dozen of the lambs working to kind of break up a much finer mass in the vat below. The chunks that have been forced through the sluice gate down here look like they've been near blended into just a pinkish slurry. It looks like the world's most unpleasant milkshake, and it absolutely smells like just horrible death inside this room. The wooden vat is near 8 feet tall, the rim of it only just slightly below the threshold of the doorway where it stands. But here, looking down into the room, it is much clearer who was organizing the operations here, as looming over the children is an enormous 6.5-foot tall half-orc man.
Oh.
With an eye patch drawn over one of his eyes and a lineage of scars across his face. Purple headband holding his black, kind of dank hair back out of his face. Dressed much akin to how Hookshanks was underneath the little orphan disguise he'd pulled over it. Clearly, visibly studded leather armor drawn across his body, and wooden rod attached to a wicked-looking spiked metal mass by a length of chain in one hand. Why he has this out looming over the children that are currently attempting to work the vat with very long poles, just trying to kind of stir it around as they can, is a mystery you don't really want to dwell on terribly long. But he turns his gaze up the doorway and sees Wrath, as you would see him taking in this scene before you as well. Now, who in the bloody hell are you? And you, how are you coming through this door? You just kind of open the door, look out, or
just like
you're peeking your head out. You're not
Yeah.
like gun comes through door and then
right
around.
because
Yeah.
I was expecting something to come up.
Right.
Nothing came up, so I'm like,
Yeah.
what's
What do you see?
so probably just like here up.
He just kind of makes the universal what in the world is going on gesture with his free hand up towards you.
I was expecting to find Gaedren Lamm around here somewhere.
Did are you meeting with Yargan? Gaedren doesn't typically meet with guests or customers after sundown.
You talking about the older fella in the other room? Yeah, he let us in.
Where's Hookshanks?
And went back to the literally
You get-
turn around to see where he is.
You get the sense that his orc is just confused and maybe not the brightest man on the planet, but is slowly starting to put together that something is not correct. And you maybe only have a few moments before, the cogs slide into place in his mind and he kind
I'll
of
point-
realizes what's happening.
And I'll point back. Oh, he didn't leave the room. He's right over there. You want me to get him for you?
Are you talking to him?
I think he
Talking
is.
to him?
I think he's talking.
That's exactly what he's doing.
What's
Why?
up with you?
I don't know, like being
Polite
sincere. Like, you
conversation.
want me to get him for you?
You can literally see steam.
You want me to get Hookshanks then?
Oh, that's
But
right.
but that's just
yeah,
his body.
the man wants Hookshanks. Could
I-
you get him for me?
I'm gonna
Oh.
go back and grab
Yeah.
Hookshanks and
Why are we doing this?
I got Hookshanks. Like, what do you want me? I just kind of barge in the room. His Hookshanks.
Open the door all the way.
He's bound.
He's tied up and unconscious.
Unconscious and bound.
This is
Well, that's Hookshanks,
He
right?
looks up at you.
Ventriloquism, try to mimic his voice.
We
Do you have that?
we,
What are you waiting for, children? Get him!
we found him this way.
Points up at the stairs, smile on his face. I hate that dumb. And starts making his way down the
I didn't say you.
stairs. Big ol' smile on his face.
I don't think he bought it, guys.
I'm gonna need you guys to roll me probably some perception for initiative. If you want to roll deception for
I
initiative,
wasn't
here,
lying.
I will let you. So perception or deception, up to you.
Loser.
You deserve that.
That was right beside the 20, thank you.
Ooh, look at me.
I'll take that.
Considering
You
how
can
well
read
my
it.
initiative
I can
went
read
last
it.
week, it's only fair I rolled
It's
it this week.
And we still get the +1 because we're still on our stuff from last time.
Yeah,
Scouting?
I assume you
I'm
still have a
oh,
scout.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely
Right,
just
you-
in front right now. Like, yeah.
I was about to say, could I use sneak instead?
Oh, if you've already noticed, you can use sneak. Yeah, if you've already noticed, you can always use sneak.
Okay, That makes
all
my
right.
roll
God,
much
that
better.
Oh, he giggling as he
That
comes
laugh,
up those
man.
stairs.
He's ready.
I don't like it.
Arden.
26.
Reth.
11. Rolled a 2.
And how about you, Darren?
25.
Pretty Gusta. John.
9.
26. 11. 25. 9.
My arms are full.
Which side are you on, Floblin?
15.
Right in the
Got
middle.
Some kind of middle ground, actually. All right, so
Have to even it out somewhere.
our half-orc gentleman
Over here talking crap. Watch him roll a 1.
Absolutely. himself. I can't reroll it either. We don't have. That's not how hero points work anymore. What is your perception, good sir? He's gonna come in here with a 17, so he will be just above Floblin, and our orphans. Orphans did roll a 1. Orphans are gonna be at the bottom. All right, so Arden back in the room. You hear him call this up. You don't have the immediate situation to process here. Your reaction's pretty fast. You up first.
I am going to delay.
Okay,
Can't see what's happening.
Can I get
that's
it?
fair. Darren?
So I can
you.
see. Oh, hey,
We got a boy.
giggle guy.
I can't
giggling.
handle the giggling.
Giggling
is way.
That's exactly the sounds he's making as he's walking up there.
I don't like
Deep
it.
breath.
Can I see? Can I see where he is? From where I am, it's kind
doorway.
of through the doorway, and there's 2 people in front
Probably
of me.
not. No.
Probably not?
You're kind of. You could like maybe make out through the sluice gates a little bit as this figure moving, so you can kind of like vaguely tell where he is. But he's both on the floor and behind the vat that's taller than he is.
Okay.
So not really.
It's okay. This isn't the best, so I'm gonna. So I can see him through the sluice gates. I'll use that to hunt prey.
Okay, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you can sense him up the hump.
Okay, perfect. Load. Pull my crossbow and load it,
Okay,
and that's my turn.
getting ready for business.
Yeah.
Didn't
As
you
he
load it
makes
last
his way.
I mean, I'm assuming I would have had to. It doesn't stay loaded after I put it away.
No, you
Ah,
can't
fair
be
enough.
loaded on your hip. No.
Yeah.
Imagine how
As
dangerous that would be.
this half-orc is coming around, looking up towards John, he reaches down and grabs a big old hefty metal bucket, like a 5-gallon paint bucket off the ground with his free hand, and turns and just as flings it up the stairs towards you as he's moving.
Towards me or him?
Towards whoever be in the front. So
I
John,
would have
John
pushed
came
to
up
the
front with hook
I-
shanks.
fair enough.
So,
That
Towards
isn't-
John
Didn't your mother
here.
teach you that's not good manners?
bucket for 21 to hit you.
Oh my god.
That'll do it.
Flinging that bucket.
Dong.
I was gonna say cover from hook shanks, but it doesn't matter.
Holding him in a raised shield.
Raise shield.
That's gonna hit you for 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
That's a hefty.
bucket.
Wong.
He throws
He
it
got you with the corner of the
pretty
bucket.
hard. He flings this thing, and then as that's flying up at you, he's not in a huge hurry, but he makes his way up around the stairs. He would actually make it right up in front of you, kind of dragging this flail as the heavy metal head clanks off each wooden step as he comes up, still giggling the whole way up to John. But that's his 3.
This is.
Floblin. Now you could see him making his way up the stairs now.
Well, I'm gonna
Giggle.
I'm gonna go
Bucket.
ahead and move in diagonally just a little bit closer, so I'm at least in line of
Get in
sight.
the back here. You can clearly see him come up the stairs. Now everyone's in the way, but you can see him. For
Yeah, and then I'm gonna try and look him in the eye, and go ahead and cast Drakan Days.
sure. Okay. He's gonna make a will save.
Yeah, because he doesn't seem too bright.
Yeah, it's not great. I'd put his will at poor. 14.
It fails.
All right.
So he just takes 4 mental non-lethal damage.
Okie dokie. As he comes up, John, you see him stagger a little bit from this spell, kind of well, dazed. And Reth. Just tell me when you want to come in, by the way, Arden.
Well, let me tell you, my
can
patience
see
with
him.
you fools is coming. Well, probably after me.
You can,
then.
like, yeah, you can, like, so you can go out. I'll put you here if you want. You can
Yeah, that's
see
fine.
him in the doorway here.
My patience with these idiots is running real thin. And I'm gonna raise my gun.
And as
I'm
you
gonna-
raise that gun up, his giggling kind of stops for a second.
Because I still had it out.
That's what that sound was? I thought it was one of Jorgen's toys.
And I'm going to
Giggling gets a little nervous.
I'm going to attempt to use that to intimidate him.
Well, that's fair.
I'm intimidated.
Did you just really fling it out of your belt?
Yes. And it works.
They
He
fit.
spilled his bandolier with these players.
They fit in the bandolier, and if I squeeze the bandolier,
Oh my god!
Right like that,
it
actually.
shoots the dice.
We're gonna kill someone. This is not why Norse Foundry sponsored us. Norse Foundry did not
That's why-
sponsor us to beat each other with their giant metal
That is
D20s.
why I am wearing.
It's
That's
all
why he's got an actual breastplate on.
it's all my fault.
It's dangerous to sit across from Derp.
But that was only going to be an 8. I rolled a 7. I'm not trained. It's not going to stop me.
He pulls it up. He seems more concerned at first than he actually is. He kind of giggling a little nervous, but
So hear me out on this. Can I shoot his hand holding the flail as a disarm? Like shoot the handle?
pretty sure disarm is melee.
But it'd be funny.
But
But hear me out. It's
But hear
funny.
me out.
if you
What the lulz?
To do it for the meme.
if you want to, okay, I will let you.
Because he's got a really big weapon and he doesn't look too good with it.
Screw it. I will let you, for this situation, make a disarm check with your gun at range. Give it to me. Boom. He's got a big old flail.
That went
Okay.
too far. I'm done with the
You are
meme.
done with it.
It worked well until I tried doing it now.
Also, Eric from our Norse Foundry guy in chat actually says, no, this is cool. He wholeheartedly supports your shenanigans. Exactly the advertising they wanted.
Yeah, but this is a terrible idea and I'm going to hurt somebody with these
You are
metal dice.
absolutely going to hurt somebody. You're going to put an eye out, kid.
So, disarm
I already have
is
one.
an attack roll or athletics?
It is. Disarms athletics. But if you're doing with your gun, do it with an attack roll.
It doesn't matter. I rolled a 2.
Don't let you do it.
So I shot right past him, and
What's your total?
an 11.
Okay. Like, it's kind of how that critically failed and literally, like, you were gonna, like, the floor is slick with the fish sludge and, like, shoot yourself backwards here.
Just
but no.
The recoil. Yes.
Boom. You need red pivot in place. But no, that doesn't critically fail.
And I'll use covered reload.
Okay. You have several friends in front of you here. So taking cover would put you from lesser cover to regular cover with your own allies.
Yes.
Like specifically John.
Don't use me as cover.
It's convenient. Why wouldn't I?
That's fair.
Arden.
You got the metal and whatnot.
I feel like you should see the error of your ways and know that the evil that you have done is about to be taken and put back upon you. Malachite. That's fear.
Okay. Will save again. He's again fantastic at these. 13.
That's gonna fail.
Frightened 2, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, he's not having a good time with those will saves, is he?
It's almost like he's, not smart and doesn't have a fantastic modifier there.
And from my other action, I'm gonna pull out like a stone hammer.
Heat.
Got a hammer. John?
Well, I got this gnome in my hands. I'm gonna toss him. Just
Where?
shove him towards the orc. Just take that as
Make a reflex
Just
save.
throw.
Catch your
yes.
Make me an athletics check here. It's not an attack and work. It's an entire person. It's a gnome, but like
Just
it's
handing it off. What is
the
happening?
baby.
This is a baby. That's
Take my child.
12.
Well, at 12, he
Would you?
toss Hookshanks at his orc. And he's just kind of confused for a moment, but doesn't really react. And Hookshanks just sort of hits him and then just like thump, 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 thump down the stairs behind him.
Baby.
That's that. He might need help after that.
It's fine.
Probably fine.
And then I was like, well, I don't know how to wrestle a cow to the ground, so I'm gonna attempt to trip him and get him on the ground.
Okay.
Knock
And
two children
your
down the
hands are,
stairs.
you got both hands free.
Yeah,
right? Just
my
kinda
both hands are
over.
free at this point.
Make me an athletics check.
Yes, we're going down low for this.
Yeah, there wasn't not an attack trait on the first thing, so you're good.
He didn't even do anything crazy. He just bounced out.
Oh, that's a natural
I
one.
inked the numbers. You shouldn't have to pick them
So
up
you
to see
go
them
to
anymore.
I
Worked so hard.
He had to make sure
can't
that
He
was
did
valid.
income for convenience of camera and seeing from distance
Yes.
purposes. You reach down to try to grab at him here on this rickety staircase. He pulls. He reaches down, like in response, and kind of grabs your forearm and just pulls you down. And you absolutely, from your forward stance from throwing his numb, fall flat on the stairs here, and you are prone.
This is embarrassing.
You found the slippery.
That was
I'm
giggling again.
That's- You know what? We're gonna try. Now I'm at a better position because now I'm next to his ankles. So
Steal his.
It's only a -10.
Get his
Got it.
ankles.
20s exist.
-7, 5, and then 2 for being prone.
so
I didn't put the attack trait on throwing hook shanks.
Oh, okay, all right.
so 11. If it's -7, 11.
11 is not going to do it. You kind of grab at him. He seems well at home, and this ecosystem here stands fairly sturdy. Maybe his weight really holding him on the wooden stairs here. And you just kind of
just
grab at his
slang
leg, and nothing happens.
Slang on my hands.
We're on the stairs. The orphan's got these incredibly long, like angled stirring rods they're using to kind of agitate this big vat, and they're sort of like jointed and hooked almost. They're almost some of them are almost giant flails themselves. Some of them looking half like just like a kind of a broken mop dangling, and they're just sort of flipping these sticks up towards the pair of you in the doorway that they can reach, which is going to be John. They're going to hit for 23.
That'll do it.
Kids hate you.
That's fair.
And Reth, who they're going to hit for 7.
Not even close.
So, John.
I took cover behind him. He took 2 hits.
Well, I'm on the ground now. You lost your cover.
Oh.
John, you're going to take 2 points of piercing damage.
Ouch.
From these various little hooked implements here. And then you're going to see another smaller wooden pail of this pink blended fish slurry come flying up at you as you're prone at the top of the stairs, and you look up and just get a face full of this rancid mess. Make me a fortitude save.
You inked this die. I think you've cursed me entirely.
Ink weighted the dice.
13.
13, you are sickened 1.
Yuck.
The goop is strong.
And prone is circumstance and sickened is status. So you are at a -3 to your AC right now.
Yo.
Darren?
But he is frightened. So
He is frightened too, so like it's almost a wash.
Oh my.
You see Isor giggling, picking up the flail, looking down
got
at John's prone figure
I got
here.
this in my mouth.
John, I think we have to talk about this.
I didn't.
Ugh. He's gonna take aim and just see. John's about to get clobbered. All right. He looks tough. He's a tough looking orc. Center of mass. Just shoot him.
All right.
And I'm gonna use this shoot through ability. So because Reth is in the way, if the path of a strike goes through another creature's space before reaching the target is flat-footed against the attack, and the other creature does not provide cover. I just put a hole in your cloak. I'm sorry.
So he's
That's
not.
really
He
nice.
does not have lesser cover, and he's flat-footed, which again his circumstances stacks with frightened. So he's at a -4 on his AC to this shot.
This is.
Is that a 2?
That's
That's
a
a 2.
That
guys
might still hit.
I don't know.
Probably this level 1. That's gonna be like an 8.
It is an 8.
Hey, you line this up and take the shot, and you get a really good angle. This orc is really not paying attention, but almost just through sheer, like, what happenstance. As he goes to pull this back, he just twists a little bit out of the way, and it just shoots right under his arm, catching nothing.
Put a hole
God.
through
Running
his
into the
cloak
back
too.
wall. But under his cloak too. He doesn't have a cloak, but well, there's
If it was there, it would have
his
a
little
hole.
red. He got a nice little red vest on. Put a
Oh
hole through
gosh.
his vest.
All right. John and Darren's gonna push past Wrath, push past John, and just try to shoulder check. He'll drop the crossbow and just try to shoulder check this orc away from John. That's a shove.
Okay. Athletics with -5. Try and push him back. I'm sure his sport's terrible.
That's a -5, huh?
Second attack.
That's second attack. All right, so that's 14.
14 is going to fail. As you push up here, maybe there's just too much in the doorway here. You can't get good enough purchase.
Ah, man. All right, so where do I stop?
I think you just kind of... Since you can't actually end up there because you didn't get to push him, you're still kind of where you're at.
Okay.
You'd probably just like.
There's
get
just a
shoved
crowd
back.
in the door. You like shove through and it's like wraps
Boing.
back, pulling it shut.
Like, fall back. All right. All right. Well, that's my 3 actions. I shot him and dropped my crossbow
And Mass
at him. I shot at him.
Massive smile on his face, just giggling. He raises his flail up, you to rattle the chains as he swings it back in a wide arc to get as much momentum in his head as he can, as he brings it down on John's prone form as he's spluttering through fish juice. 12.
That-
Frightened too.
There's no way that hits. Freaking
Stop, please. Can we talk about this?
He pulls it back up.
You don't. You're just not bright enough to talk then, huh?
Swings again. 7, because it's the same number but 5 lower.
Dodge this way, and then I dodge that way. Just rolling around on the ground.
This is my favorite part of the day. You only get lucky so long, boy. And he's gonna actually intimidate you here as he's pulling this up. You know, the terribly intimidating whiffing twice on a prone second figure. He's clearly a little frightened himself from this magic. He's trying to steady himself as much as he is trying to get you 16 against your will DC.
That does it.
So you are frightened 1. So is he, because that's his turn. Flomblin. Frightened second prone.
Man,
Right.
you're doing it.
Right. Well, when in doubt, just if it works, might as well do it again. The Drakan! I'm gonna daze him again.
Oh, I'm a tank.
I'm a tank. I'm a tank.
16.
That fails.
He's gonna take 4 more damage.
And then I don't know. There's too many people in the way. I can't really
There's
go
a lot
anywhere.
of people. It's a very full door.
In that case, I'll just attack and shield.
You never know when another bucket's gonna come out.
Exactly. I am very squishy.
He was real
people.
good with that bucket.
Yeah, it's a great bucket. I think a 19 on the die for that bucket. He heaved that thing.
Oh, God damn it, John, are you gonna be all right?
I feel never felt better.
I feel like he's lying.
It's in my mouth.
I'm gonna shoot this big fella in the leg. Hold on,
Oh God, don't miss.
and I'm gonna non-lethally shoot him.
What the
Not
anti-siege
aim at
gun?
center of mass. He's a big boy. It won't break his leg off.
Oof. He was a henchman.
Oh, there we go.
It's a 19.
Total?
No, on the die.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a 26 against his frightened.
Frightened 126 is not gonna crit.
Good. I don't want to kill him.
Hookshanks and the old man Bookie did not really seem like they were really your frontline kind of your muscle sort of gangsters. This guy very much is. Just non-lethally takes a bullet to the leg.
Work. 9 damage. I rolled a 7. Very good numbers.
Yeah, a solid shot for sure. I mean, that's the bullet's gonna rip through his leg. He's gonna stagger backwards.
And then
His giggle gets even higher pitched for a moment.
covered reload. So in cover again.
Behind
And
John's front form.
ouch. And I'm gonna look at him, and obviously I can't roll intimidate again, but I can certainly tell him, I'll give you just a second to think about that before I pull this trigger again, and I won't use my third action.
Are you insane? Firing that thing in a building?
He says
They say I'm crazy.
with a hole running like through the side of his thigh. Like it grazed him, and that's the non-lethal.
Non-lethally running through.
It's just it's like everyone's ears are ringing here as he fires this in the middle of the entire group. You see the lambs down below all kind of recoils, put their hands over their ears.
It's a fantastic intimidation factor for people in the next neighborhood.
Arden. Gonna get the police called in the fishery before we're done here.
Good, saves us the trouble.
Is there a banister on these stairs? Is there a place to grab onto? Anywhere?
I'll let you hazard a guess as to the safety standards inside this here.
Not
fishery.
OSHA approved.
I didn't think they were in one piece. I was just wondering if they were there.
There is not. No, it is an open wooden staircase.
All right, then everyone's just gonna have to move out of my way, and he's gonna
what I was
attempt to
hoping
tumble
for.
through.
Okay, I'm gonna move up and try to roll through this orc here.
Yep.
You can probably guess this guy's name.
Giggles.
Giggles?
Yeah, he's Giggles.
Yeah.
Okay, Giggles.
Bullying him.
That's gonna be a 15.
15 is going to fail. So as Arden tries to add another body to the doorway of bodies that people can't
Please
get through.
stop trying to step on me.
With at this point Darren and Arden trying to push through, and then Reth shooting a gun in here. Giggles just kind of pulls his arm back and flips the head of the flail upwards into the doorway because that is going to provoke failing to tumble through him, and he do have that attack of opportunity.
Ooh.
He is still frightened 1, so it's going to be a 16.
I don't think so. I'm not that clumsy.
You have armor? You get armor. You're a druid, right? You can wear armor as
Yep.
long as it's not just like big metal stuff.
Yep.
All right, fair enough. I believe you have 1 action to move to him and try, and then you're kind of stuck at the back here. It's just a giant door mosh.
Darren, you're the hero. Do it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying.
Ray shield.
John, floor man. How are you doing?
Floor man is actually going to go ahead and use this hero point I have. Surge of speed. I play at the start of a creature's turn. I'm quickened until the end of my turn, but I can only use that quickened action to move.
Okay.
That's actually pretty useful.
You know what's got the move trait?
Huh?
You know what's got the move trait on it?
Standing up.
Standing up. We're going to stand up.
So that card's letting you stand up for free, basically.
You just used kip up.
I used
Sort
give
of.
up. Oh, she ate the
Sort of.
reaction. So I'm going to just take the scythe out. Okay. I'm a little annoyed now. This is very, very, very stupid. I'm going to power attack him. Lethally.
Oh.
I'm sickened 1 and frightened 1.
They don't stack.
They don't
for it, so no
stack.
Status.
So
There you go.
so that is a 21.
21 will hit.
So I get to add another weapon die to the attack roll, which would be 2d10.
10s?
Yep, 5s or 10s.
It's a big boy scythe.
That's 14 total.
Okay. Wow. So what happens to him here?
That was overkill.
It's just I stand up and I just don't have a lot of.
Giggling style.
I don't have a lot of training for using this as an actual weapon, so it's just farming technique. I just scythe down and just take him off his ankles, and he falls into the vat below.
Yeah, with his kind of losing his balance here at this massive arquebus shot that is ripped through his leg, and you knock him over, he just collapses in this pink slurry. Fortunately, the natural, substance of the mix kind of hiding his lifeblood leaking out of his body as he just sort of drops 2/3 of the way into it. It's pretty dense. But he topples over head first, just leaving like one leg, one side of him, one hand just sort of flopped out of this as his flail clatters down the stairs and bumps into Hookshanks at the bottom.
I feel kind of sick.
I feel
Is he okay?
No, he's not
He
okay.
is very much not all right.
Oh, it smells so bad in here.
I don't know what you're talking about. It smells fine to me.
I'm going to retch to get rid of the sickened condition.
And as Giggles kind of falls down here, the orphans all stop, almost awestruck,
Orphan music stops.
as he falls into the vat.
Are you kids okay?
Or what do you think? They've been in here working their heads
I
off.
think we should get them out of here.
I think, yeah, I think we should all leave.
But of course, where do you take orphans?
And one of them, who's a bit older, probably like a 14-year-old boy there, looks up at the group of you. He's got sort of sandy, short, sort of wild hair, freckles across his face. He swears things that I can't say on this stream. You killed him.
Well, yes, that was the outcome.
I'm sorry.
I mean, we didn't. We weren't trying to.
Yeah, Oh, Gaedren's gonna have us.
Not if you leave.
Well, obviously we're gonna leave. I ain't stupid. I'm not staying here. And he throws his giant mop thing on the ground and just motions to a couple of the other orphans. We gotta get out of here.
Wait, before you leave, have you seen a boy named Colin? He's got like really nice sable hair, and he was wearing something around his head that had a little symbol.
I know Colin. Gaedren sent him out of here
Where?
yesterday, day before.
Do you know where he took him?
I don't know. Move. We gotta go. If we're here when Gaedren gets up here, I don't want to think about what's gonna happen.
But please, do you know where he could have taken him? He's my brother.
And these orphans are kind of just massing on the stairs at this
Yeah,
point,
I'm
trying to like
Let them past.
pass the group of you as
wait.
they have decided it is
Don't-
a bad idea to be here when Gaedren shows up.
Don't leave here without at least a little bit of money. I'll give them each a silver.
It's a lot of money for an orphan.
Absolutely snap at that and take those on the way out.
Go hide.
Kind of confused look at you. They're gonna like a orphan stampede towards the front door out this main way.
Hide.
The 6 or 7 of them out the front door and out into the streets. Like they're gone. None of them are dumb enough to stay here any longer than this. And with that, the fishery finally falls almost totally silent.
Darren, he's still alive. He's still alive. I didn't know.
He's not alive at all. He's in the vat and he's missing his feet.
No, I'm talking about Colin.
Colin. Who's Colin?
My brother.
Oh, your brother. He's alive. You found him?
Did you not just the conversation that I asked?
He's a bit distracted.
Um,
He's
I'm gonna take a moment to pull out some cloth, like a handkerchief or something, wrap that around my face, try and dissuade the smell a little bit.
At
Here.
this point, Giggles is still slowly kind of sinking into the slot.
That's
here.
his-
God, that's an
Very
awful way to go.
I just walk up to John. I kind of give him, well, since I'm not very tall, I give him a little pat on the like hip instead of shoulder since I can't reach. You know, just for the record, I know we were trying to take him in quietly and alive, but I'm pretty proud of you. And not to mention, you look kind of beat up.
Darren, I
who
feel
would
like
have thought that
Are you saturating
buckets would hurt and be effective weapons?
I
Well,
feel like this
How are
will
you
help.
looking? You
A
got
rock?
Incredibly big. I'm still
my
injured
favorite
from the
rock.
fights in
My
the
second
other
favorite.
room.
I'll take.
This was.
Thanks, I guess.
It's
Can
pretty.
we just go back into the room that doesn't smell quite as awful?
I mean, I don't know what you are complaining about. I think it smells fine in here.
All right,
but-
then. I scoop up
John,
a little
come
bit
on
of the
with
fish
me.
guts and paste and just shove it in his face.
I just right before it gets to my face, I'm just like, oh.
Make me a fortitude save. You are a goblin and you eat trash.
You're not that kind of
Definitely
goblin.
give you a bonus.
He at first acts like he enjoys it, and then he goes,
on you.
Yeah.
It's
I don't,
worse in your
actually.
mouth than it is in your nose. There's trash and then there's
I rolled a total of 6.
stewing rot slurry. Yeah, that would definitely be sick if you get slammed into your face.
You know,
I take that moment to immediately vomit it back out.
Well, the group of you can follow in the orphan's wake to move back into the sort of small reception area where the dog's bed is under the desk, at least a little bit removed from this processing of whatever it is they're doing here.
Let me look at your wounds. Man, you're bleeding from everywhere, John.
That's what happens when you get stabbed, hits, and then hits again with
Well,
another bucket.
Don't do that next time.
I tries my hardest not to. Did you see me dodge all his? What was that? A flail?
Golly. So I've got a
It's a bait
healing
stick.
kit. He's gonna pop it open and see if I can't go ahead and patch him up.
No. While he's patching me, 'cause I am trained in medicine. I said, no, that's
wanna
not.
aid him?
You
Aid
wanna
him by
assist
his. That's not tight enough.
Well, as Darren and John are going to sit down and attempt to bind his wounds, that's going to be a process going to take a minute to tend to themselves. What are you three doing?
Well, I'm gonna refocus.
Well, fair enough.
I'm-
Focus. Think about fire. Think about a really big fire.
Burning
Yep.
paper.
If you, as you focus, you can almost hear it.
Because I'm a little bit more smoky
Massive
now.
burning in the distance.
I'm trying to focus so I'm less smoky and obvious.
I don't believe you can go back below minor curse, so you
Oh.
are still going to be at minor curse. You get the focus point back.
Yes.
But you're at minor curse till tomorrow. That ain't.
That's
going
right. I
anywhere.
forgot about that. Thank you. Sorry.
What about you two?
Just looking out, waiting to see if another interesting individual comes along.
All you can really hear here is the hustle and bustle of life outside the front door, Corvosa, day to day. It seems like there might be some kind of an event or some kind of a party or something going on not too far away, because it's definitely a lot louder than usual. You can hear some people shouting back and forth. It sounds like merchant hawkers, which usually is normal during the day, but not super common after sunset. How about you, Arden?
I'm gonna start looking at the ledgers. The ledgers. There's got to be something about Colin.
Well, looking through there, let's get your aid check first. John, see if you helping or hurting, John. Helping or hurting.
Helping or hurting?
Hurting.
Hurting. That's a 9 total.
You have a -1 to your medicine check.
I'm not that great to begin with, but we'll
Darren?
see.
Believe.
I'm trying to
critical
remember.
failure.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember he actually has like a little manual he's referencing while he's trying to tie the bandage, and
Oh,
like
boy.
Johns keeps pushing the book out of the way.
This is not right.
No, look, it's clearly
This-
left
this-
over right over left.
No, that's not how we did it back home.
I don't think they know how to read.
But I push him out of the way and I do it anyway. That's gonna be a 24.
24. Oh, without the -1, what a crit. So that's regular success, which means John will get 2d8 hit points back.
It is not.
13.
That is.
A lot for
Pretty
level
good
1.
2d8 right
Pretty good
there.
2d8.
That's amazing.
A fantastic 2d8. But as you look at the ledgers, Floblin's kind of thinking about the concept of burning. What if the whole building was on fire?
There
He's not wrong.
there is
only
a
Doc was
what's
here.
that word? Oh, smoke. Is that a name? He's trying to sound it out.
The ledgers that you have here in front of you, Arden, that you got from this first room where the bookie is still unconscious behind the desk, are really, there's no mention of lambs whatsoever. This is all the transactions of the dock dumplings, they're called. They seem to be providing for a great number of various warehouse teams, other small groups, and some taverns around the area. They seem to be, and the other side of it is the intake that they're taking, the catches, the resources where they're acquiring these fishes from. And it seems to be basically everything they're putting into this process are either fishes that were already just found dead in nets, catches that had been left in the sun for a couple of days and weren't super sellable anymore, creatures of questionable edibility that just kind of show up in the fishermen's catches sometimes. 0 good things are going into this slurry.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
But what is the purpose of it, though? I mean, I don't get it. Why would you
They're
want it?
selling dock dumplings.
That's gross.
Yes.
Dumpling.
It sounds like Goblin Cuisine to me.
What's the super salty fermented fish?
Lutefisk?
Fish balls?
Anchovies?
Anchovies?
Disgusting.
No, it's like a Swedish
Lutefisk.
that.
But
But
that's made with that's made
essentially this.
That's made with lye.
Like people do that.
They are, along with the ledgers, there would be some alchemical records from
Surströmming.
your bookie here. Most of what he produces, he's got a whole lot of mixtures and formulas and concoctions related to various types of acids. He's got some really finely penned notes of his own from experimental trials. He's been running testing the exposure of these various acids he makes to human skin. No further details on how exactly that's going, but some of the burns you see on some of these orphans are starting to make a little bit more sense. I'll never forget you, table cam. But
At
also-
that, you'll see him actually start to look really angry, and his hands will start to shake. Cover him up, or get him away from me. He tested acid on the children.
And there's
Don't.
evidence of it, which means that when we put him in jail, it'll be all the more damning.
We need to take this leisure and use it to make sure he never gets out again. He's evil.
We'll put it in your bag then. We'll be taking all of them that we can.
His morality was in question this entire time.
We already know these weren't good people.
Do you think he did it to my brother? Or maybe not. He's only been here a short amount of time. Maybe not.
Yes, hold on to that hope. That is a good thing.
Oh, the deactivate reactivates it, fixes it. It's usually table cam that dies off.
Usually.
Usually a cam that matters.
Well,
Oh.
So you have a good old off and on real quick, gets us going there. Oh no, if that was a disconnect, that might be a hard fix actually. Might have to take an early break, we'll see. See if on and off fixes it real quick. Okay, well, let's take our midstream break a little bit earlier today because that's a problem that we haven't had before. But it's probably going to require us to actually mess with some cables and get that back online. We'll be back in a couple of minutes, and hopefully we should be able to fix this up and then continue with our adventures. Sorry about that weird tech issue for the day. It's cool. We haven't had one in a minute. We didn't have like any last episode, which is fantastic. I'll take them in episode 2.
there you go.
Don't go too far, bro.
Did you guys cast invisibility?
Did we fix it?
Oh,
Does it
baby.
work?
I think
Is it working?
I think
Yeah.
we fixed it, probably.
Moving,
Maybe.
I think a
schmooving, and
USB
grooving.
port in our streaming computer literally just decided to die completely.
Just every day.
Don't want
You
to
know,
transmit electrons anymore.
This would not be a squid stream if something did not just randomly die for no reason.
It's worse when it seems to possibly have died permanently, considering how absolutely throttled we are on available ports vis-a-vis all of the freaking cameras.
Just download more RAM.
Just download more USB
Yeah.
ports onto our computer.
No,
Yeah,
you gotta
dude.
download more RAM so that you can accommodate having more USB ports that you download.
But hopefully that should be fine for the rest of the show. Good news. I was worried for a moment there that was not going to be an immediately fixable problem.
Magnetize your hard drive.
I hate you.
So, as we somewhat abruptly had to leave off there due to some unfortunate technical issues, we were looking through the ledgers of Gaedren's bookie, and Darren was patching John up in the reception room.
Despite his best efforts.
Despite his best efforts, he was helping.
We left off at the acid.
Yeah, you had discovered that Darren was usually very interested in developing and working with these acids, and you can tell from his ledgers, from his personal notes, there's 2 different sections. One of which is what appears to be a fairly light acid that is a component of the slurry down on the fishery floor. But all the rest of it doesn't seem to have a purpose. It doesn't seem to be used for anything. Those are things he's testing for their interactions and their exposure to human skin, but seemingly for no reason other than it's a personal hobby.
He's trying to find a universal solvent.
You just got to keep yourself busy sometimes.
Keep yourself busy. Brewing acid and testing it on kids.
Yep.
Everyone needs a hobby.
He has large quantities of both.
Maybe a different hobby. Perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different hobby and one that's more relaxing.
I'm gonna take this stuff and I'm gonna put it away.
Alright, then.
Yeah, we'll find a good use
know,
for it.
then-
Just hold on to it for now.
You're very good at this healing thing.
That's just standard training.
That's a much better technique than what the old lady at home would do.
Well, it's
Telling
handy.
you, right over left, left over right. That's how you tie the
Keep
knot.
that in mind for next time.
It's handy having that little manual there. Certainly makes a difference.
There's pictures and everything.
It does have a lot of pictures.
You still have quite a few of these finished vials that had been near the alchemy lab on the table in this small office you'd entered from that you might have some inkling of perhaps what they are at this point.
I think they're acid.
I think there might be acid.
I'm going through
Yeah,
this.
you
How
know,
many are
I
there?
reckon that those are acid.
I wrote down 4. Are there more than 4?
There are different types of them. There should be, I believe, there are 4 of one and 2 of the other.
Gotcha.
Are the 4
4 of
oddly
the very
green?
thin, like the one that almost just literally looks like it's water, but that is actually like wax sealed at the top to be completely airtight. and then 2 of them that are the thicker, brownish, almost looking like a syrup.
I may be able to figure out what they are, but I'd have to remove the top, and I don't really want to do that right now.
Time and
Well-
place, I think.
Well, we got the 2 that aren't sealed, so I'm gonna find a stick, a small twig of some kind.
Wait. Let's
it's
not
not
start
sealed.
pouring acid on
No,
things.
I'm gonna poke the liquid and see what happens to it.
That seems
Why?
imprudent.
If it
No.
burns,
This
if it
is-
melts, that's the acid.
But we still have Gaedren Lamm to go find.
This will take 5 seconds.
You just really want to put sticks into this vial and see what happens.
yeah.
I'm
a
on
little
board with
curious.
this.
You know what? Fine. Just do it.
I'm gonna go find him a stick.
It's just
And
It's a
here
wooden
in the
building.
office, it's a wooden building, and it's not very well
splinter,
maintained. There are
like-
perfectly plenty of long splinters that you could pull off.
actually,
of frames
poke
of
the
doors or
brown
anything.
thick goop
And as you open
with
up
the broken.
It's not my fault. I
You
did.
open up one of these
Wasn't his fault. Just happened in his hand.
thicker ones and kind of poke it with this stick. And it's not quite as thick as it looks. It's quite viscous.
Like
it's
molasses, but more
very
runny.
cohesive. Yeah, kind of almost like a runnier molasses. The smell is almost vinegary when you open it up, but the stick just kind of gets some goop on the end of it. Nothing appears to be dissolving.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the cork back on. Well, it don't look like that one's acid, so I'm gonna leave that right over there, and we're not gonna touch it.
Okay.
Right, we done over here, so
I think I've got John patched up about as well as I can.
Might be about a good time to go see if he's in the boat, maybe.
I guess. Is there any way we could get to that boat from the fishery, or was it like an enclosed room?
The fishery floor, as you were looking at it, looked like it was kind of an enclosed. Again, it was the entire back half of the building. Remember from last week, I was describing some of these river buildings as you're entering at the top level from the street, and that you could see where it kind of hooked down over the edge. That is all this fishery processing floor. But that said, all of the doors seem to be on the western, I gotta think, north is left, on the western side of the chamber where you had entered from, and all of them are on the upper catwalk level. You didn't really go down into the room, but you didn't see that it connected to anything else, and from seeing the building from the outside, it doesn't look like there'd be anything else for it to have connected to.
So if we want to check that boat, I think we have to go to the pier.
Yeah. You know what does conveniently go to that pier and that boat?
The office that you're all literally in right now,
Yes.
you did make your way most of the way back out the building. It would be no difficulty for you to just head back out to this rickety pier that wraps around the outside of the
I wonder if
fishery again.
Hookshanks is okay.
He's fine.
I really don't want to go back in that room. He's probably fine.
No, he's perfectly fine.
I'll go check if you want.
No.
Well, see, when I toasted him, he was alive, so I'm pretty sure he didn't die. Can't have 2 on my conscience. Can only handle 1. Oh.
So are we going?
Well,
Yeah.
You-
Yeah,
Plan.
I think
making
that's...
your way around the pier outside the building as it wraps around into the river and again wraps around this large ship. Again, this pier is like 20 feet above the water. It's pretty high up, and you can still see the spikes down below underneath where it starts to angle around the stern of this ship where that grave shell that you saw is resting. Right next to a much smaller little dinghy that is just seemingly afloat in the water, way down below this pier, completely inaccessible, tied to one of the posts. But within reach of the stern of this larger ship itself.
Is the tide line such a way that like it looks like the water would rise higher, or is this basically the level of the river and that's about as
The
high as it's
level
gonna
of
get?
the river is not, this far in, is not massively affected by the tides. There are a series of small, kind of minor locks around the northern bend of the river that comes into Corvosa to stop the tides that are on this kind of inner edge of the city from changing so dramatically to make it easier to moor ships long term and to have all their operations through here.
So
it-
that boat never gets
that
up to the
boat does
height.
not absolutely not come the 20 feet up to the pier.
Well,
Darren's gonna pull his knife and cut it loose.
I was about to do the same.
It is,
I was
it
about
is
to do the
lashed
same thing.
to the post of the pier, like way down.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's not like it's lashed up on a 20 huge
Oh,
rope. It's probably a rope that long, but it's lashed near the bottom.
I could try to get down there. I'm pretty dexterous.
The grave shell's there. It's probably not worth it. If it was easy, the risk is that Lamb might, if he sees we're coming, he might try to dive into the water and get to the boat to get away. But the grave shell's right there. He'd be an idiot to try, unless he just didn't know it was there.
If I really need to, I could just put a hole in the bottom of that boat.
That's fair.
That seems overzealous, but okay.
Outside from the pier, you can hear this. Well, again, it sounds like maybe hawkers are shouting further up in the town from West Pier. There's clearly some kind of an event going on. But the sound of the river lapping and washing against the buildings and the piers out here, while it may not have a ton of tide, it does have a lot of mobility. It is sort of loud and kind of, when you're out over, it drowns out much of what's in the distance behind you in the city. The ship before you is in much worse condition than you might have initially assumed. It doesn't look terrible from a distance, but we already determined that it probably doesn't really move anymore. Getting close to it, that's extremely apparent. The deck of this ship is absolutely rotted through. It's whole worn and thick with seaweed and barnacles on the outer facing side towards the river. The ship looks like it's predominantly held together by layers of old rope that lash it to the pilings of this pier itself. Not only does the pier seem to be keeping it against the building, it seems to be keeping it in one piece. This rickety walkway wraps around the starboard side of the ship on the eastern end here, about a foot below its outer railing. It has one raised deck in the back with a single door that will be on the starboard side facing you, leading into the aft cabin, with a relatively crude painting, very simplistic, of a red fish on its exterior. Nearer as you come around to the bow of the ship on this end, almost entirely faded, you can just make out the words Kraken's Folly, were once painted along its hull.
The ship doesn't seem very safe to stand on. Are you sure it's can support any type of weights at all?
Well, we're about to figure out. ain't we?
No.
I mean,
Floblin, you go on first then.
right? I suppose so. I'm gonna go ahead and sneak onto the floorboard carefully.
I don't think you thought this through, John.
he's
If it
going
can
up.
support Floblin's weight, it doesn't mean it can support
I
ours.
was thinking that
Floblin
thing.
clambers over the railing here onto the deck, and the
also
wooden boards are. Do you have shoes, little goblin man?
What are shoes? Is that the thing I ate last week?
Kind of what I figured. Actually feels almost soft. It feels more like walking on an old wet carpet than it does a hard wood
You know that
deck.
mossy ground that's real soft in
Yeah,
a
that's,
forest?
and you see Floblin, you can feel your feet just half a centimeter sink a little bit in as you step, literally leaving soft impressions in the wood here. The top layer of this is ruined by the elements.
With slight smoldering.
Light smoldering.
See, if it can't
And speaking of
support its
smoldering-
weight, it definitely can't support us.
Yeah,
So-
Darren's gonna go on board too, but hold on to the railing to try to take some weight off of the.
And drifting to the winds, a card with a message appears. Keep the fire going, Floblin.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you
Thank
this.
you,
Let me
Lord.
ask you this.
What's it called?
made
What's it called? What's it called?
Quote?
Stay in the fight. And it literally says for flavor text, get up.
Instead of dying, don't.
Oh,
Have you considered?
Looking at this boat. Does it seem like there's any place I could get it that might either destabilize it or stabilize it? Because I know a lot about engineering. You
Very
see.
attached to the pier. Well, as Darren climbs over the railing here first, you hear a pretty loud. It's not even so much a creak as like kind of snapping, cracking noises as he steps onto the deck, and the wood visibly sags under his footstep,
see,
but it holds.
I'm not stepping on that. You can go.
Maybe we'll just peek, Floblin, you and me, just kind of look down that stairwell and see if there's anybody down there.
Right?
So the stairwell is inside the door for convenience. If we're not doing dynamic lighting, you can't see stairs from here.
Oh, okay.
That's inside that. Like
Check
cabin.
the interior of the ship.
You would know if you like. There's no way any of you in Conversa would not know that like ships have below decks regions, but there is not an external access to the
I
below
don't
decks.
actually
So-
know how ships actually work.
With
Wait a minute.
perception or a survival check, can I look to see if somebody has been on this deck recently.
Arden, what do you have like a lore skill or something? Do you
Lore engineering.
Lore engineering. Yeah, roll me a lore engineering.
Ship's broke.
Shit don't work.
Shit don't work. Shit don't float no more.
I'm the little engineer that could.
I mean, could roll another 20.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's going to be an 18.
With an 18, looking at it, disengaging this ship from the pier would be the labor of possibly an entire day at this point, and that's even assuming it's not actually grounded at the bottom, which you can't easily tell from here in the dark through the murky river water. It's gonna live here.
She lives here now.
It's a big project to make that change.
It
And what
lives
were you
here.
asking? Man?
Survival or perception to see based on like, them stepping on it. If someone had been through here, would I be able to tell?
Not easily. The wood is so soft that the footprints left behind these impressions, even where crags and snakes, don't persist long, as it kind of just smooths itself back out. It's like
Memory
smart
foam.
memory foam,
Okay.
basically, over
You
the top of this.
Darren,
I have an idea.
it's not as unstable as you think. I actually think it's not going anywhere.
Well, I'm not worried about the boat falling apart. I'm worried about the deck falling apart.
Yeah,
Well, if we want to go
actually-
below deck, isn't that where we want to be?
Well, hang on a minute.
Faster way to get there.
Don't want
Yeah,
to fall
okay,
through the
elevator.
deck.
I'm gonna gingerly jump the gunnel again, get back on the dock.
Okay.
I'm gonna move back around to where that boat is, and I'm just gonna lay on my stomach and hang my head over the edge of the pier to look underneath it and see if there's an access to the boat on the water level.
As you hang down over the edge, you can see that down below,
The grave shell gets you.
inset from the main structure of the building, there is a second pier. There is a second pier that runs out just tucked underneath the fishery floor itself, maybe with only 8 feet of clearance to the bottom and just a foot above the river water where it is. That comes straight up and angles around again, fully underneath the fishery floor to come along the port side of the Kraken's Folly here, lining up with it at the bottom. The boat is lashed to one of the pilings of the main pier here, but is very much within reach of that lower pier, 15, 20 feet down below.
That makes so much sense. One of you call Floblin off that ship before he kills himself up
Hey,
there.
Floblin.
Alright.
Yeah, I think you can come back this way before you get yourself
Can I
killed.
see any way to
Okay.
access the lower pier from here? Like maybe from the fishery
As
building?
the lower pier, from your position here, runs underneath the fishery floor, again just above the water, and runs into a. You would lose sight of it from this angle as it goes underneath the main building, underneath the entirety of the main building.
Okay.
But the only place you see it connects to anything is down again at the water level on the port side of this Kraken's Folly here.
All right, probably somewhere in the fishy. Worst case, we can just try to go through the floor, I guess. I hate going back in that room.
We could just try to position ourselves down below from here, right?
You want to drop like 15 feet
Yes.
down to the lower pier?
Also,
could-
a grave shell is pretty much right
That's-
near that boat. Like,
It's
the
fine.
grave shell is maybe 6 feet from this lower pier.
I think I might be able to do it.
We could just give the grave shell a hug.
Let's-
What's he gonna do?
Let's be safe. Let's be safe. I think we should go back into that fishery. There's
Where's
got to
your
be a
s-
secret door or
Where's
something
your
that
sense
lets you
of
down
adventure?
there. Where's
I-
your sense of... Okay, you go into the deck, John, and I'm going to go look for that secret door down there.
I don't know.
This is-
Are there secret doors like in real life?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
mean-
it could just be a door that's behind a box that
I
we
mean-
didn't notice. It doesn't have to be like super secret. I mean, we
didn't
didn't go
exactly
down
check
there.
the
We didn't
whole
exactly
room.
check. It
Oh,
smelled terrible.
If I know Lambert, just as like anyone else, he probably has some weird, thing right behind a barrel or a poster or something. I don't know.
A poster. See? Yeah, there.
So the group of you,
pen up of the
seemingly in agreement
damn
here, make your
dumplings.
way back into the main fishery.
I don't know. John really seemed like he wanted to jump up and
Unless
down on the
John
deck.
really doesn't want to go
No.
out there.
No.
That's what I was thinking.
Suggest. You have no sense of humor either, do you?
Just belly flop onto the deck and fall through, leave an imprint of your body.
You know,
And you make your way down for the first time to the actual processing floor itself to kind of look around this area. Down below these catwalks, the base, there's Hookshank's unconscious body. You can see the side of the flail landed soundly on the side of his head as it came down the stairs.
Oh, jeez.
He's about as unconscious as it's physically possible to be. He might not even wake up tomorrow. He's gonna have a
He is alive, though, right?
He's alive.
Okay.
He's not gonna be happy about it when he wakes up, but he
I mean,
is
I
alive.
wouldn't be either.
He's going to be in a jail cell, so he probably won't be.
But looking around this floor, there is a lot going on here. The eastern side of the room, near to the Kraken's Folly, where a set of boarded up windows along the top level once let light into this processing area when it wasn't a derelict being run by slumlords, has a mass of boxes and barrels, each painted with that same very simplistic red fish icon on them. And from the stench, which is actually not as bad as the slurry, very salty odor coming out from this stack of crates. It seems to be the final destination. A lot of the processing pipeline is clearly visible here from the tools and the buckets and the pails that they're using to transform this slurry into whatever it is going into these crates that are being shipped out to wherever. There is only one other real notable feature about the room here, which is an opening, an access hole at the southern end of the chamber, about 10 feet back from this vat, which opens into the Jigare River directly. From here, only about 8 feet down below. From what you'd seen outside, were you to go down here, you would be maybe 5-6 feet from that underpier that you would see. And in, again, the dark of night, they have some torches lit around the fishery floor as they were finishing their work. And the darkness and the sounds of sloshing water below as you look through this just void with maybe only 2 foot high little crenellations around the outside of it to stop someone from stumbling in.
If we need more light, I can do that. Do we need more light?
So,
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
what exactly did this pier look like it ran?
Well,
I mean,
shouldn't be too far off from this, but
if it helps, all I can see in the dark.
Darren, hold out your crossbow.
You can see the water.
We'll just grab you
Igneous.
by your ankles and put you down there and use you like an upside down periscope.
I mean,
Crossbow bursts into, I assume, light.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Or flames. Emanating out now an aura of light, much like the torches, but one much more consistent. You can use that as a bit of a beacon. Again, there's this little 2-foot thing, but you can kind of lean over with your crossbow and confirm what you'd seen from the outside. Functionally, the pier is going to be beneath the eastern and southern sides of this room. It is exactly beneath that.
Okay.
So there's this slot that leads down, this 10-foot wide basin that just deposits into the river. And you can see that there is a simple pulley rigging system on either side of it that can be connected to either individual buckets or a larger platform system to raise and lower things up there. But it doesn't look like it's meant for people. It's not like that degree of sturdy. It's a much smaller sort of mechanism.
Okay.
And looking down underneath, there would be that. There would be the 5-foot square next to it, and then there would be the underpier on the southern end.
Okay.
You know, water is it's the greatest power of erosion. You know, it can destroy stone.
That's fair. Yeah, that makes sense.
So are we gonna jump?
No.
Let me check something first. Darren's just gonna lower himself and drop into the water with the lit
That's
crossbow
not good.
and swim over to the pier.
Okay.
You hear,
As you drop down into the water, you are okay distance from the grave shill here, but not a great distance. And you fall in with a pretty decent splash.
I'm kind of betting that I can beat him out, but I don't know.
That's what I was gonna say. Make me. It would be literally an athletics check for swimming here.
Yeah.
To see how quick you can get yourself out of this water, and if this.
So I have Underwater Marauder, and I looked at it, and it doesn't help.
What does it do at it? Just raw curiosity.
Underwater Marauder, it's actually pretty cool. It's basically fighting underwater, so I'm not flat-footed in the water, and I don't take penalties for using bludgeoning or slashing melee weapons in the water.
Fair enough.
that's actually pretty
Removes pretty much all the downsides of fighting in water, other than the fact that you have to swim.
That I have to swim, yes, exactly.
All right, maybe an athletics check.
15.
15, I would say that you are, again, you're pretty proficient at this. You're dropping 8 feet's a decent drop, but it's not massive, and it's into the river next to the embankment, so there's not a ton of force here. You're able to pretty quickly move and scramble yourself up onto the underpier on the far side. You would see, I hear a bit of creaking wood from the east as you see the spikes of the grave shell shift a little. Mm-hmm. But it makes no immediate move to come after you.
Using the lit crossbow, I'm going to see if I can find an entrance.
Yeah, from the bottom here, you can see that this pier, where it runs on the southern end of the building, leads into yet a lower floor of the fishery. There is a third fishery level all the way up against the embankment itself. Completely impossible to see just due to the angle from the road up above. And it does lead to a door. That said, you see no way that it obviously connects to the building up above unless that connection is inside that room.
Fair enough. I'm gonna kind of come back and call up. I think I found a way. It's back towards the street side of the building. Hey, it's back toward the street side of the building. Try to make your way back there, and I'll see if we can't find the door from the other side.
From down below here, you can see that, again, while it's kind of hidden from the street level, the southern end of this pier, or the western end of this pier, is not terribly far from the embankment. Mm-hmm. It would be a little bit of a swim, and you're worried about that grave shell perhaps getting antsy, but what seems like it might be the easiest way down here would be to simply come down the embankment from outside and swim a little distance and pull yourself up on this pier. Easiest, grave shell notwithstanding.
Right.
So where exactly is the grave shell at? And
the grave shell is just past the angle of this underpier here, around the stern of the ship.
Like here-ish.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah, exactly there.
Maybe I could create a distraction so that you all could go do your thing, and I could get it to look someplace else.
Do you think the grave shell likes fish paste?
I'd imagine.
I think the grave shell likes people.
I'm gonna grab a bucket full of fish paste and just kind of chum the water as far away from the grave shell as possible to see if it'll go that way.
Okay. It's like it'll take you a minute because you got to get a bale of fish paste and go all the way back up out on the pier. What are the rest of you guys doing as he's grabbing some grabbing some bait?
Looking for a way to get on that pier that doesn't involve getting my black powder wet.
Does not seem to be a very straightforward way to do that.
I could check the door.
What's
careful.
your exploration action down here, Darren? You're looking
Seeking.
around, obviously.
Yeah,
so make
seeking.
me a perception check.
That's going to be a 20.
With a 20, turn Uno Paizo here. With a 20, you would actually see that the lower hold of the Kraken's Folly does have a portion that opens up onto the pier right here. The ship itself seems to basically serve as a staircase connecting these two piers. But beyond that, you don't see any other easy way up or down. You see no other connections.
Okay. All right. So, like, I could.
So it's like right near where your token is on the map, like right on the eastern side of this, there is a large hatch on the lower decks of the Kraken's Folly.
But that goes into the ship, right?
It goes into the ship.
Okay. Yeah. So that's
Um,
doing me a
file that one under questionable at best, but it's there.
I know we have a history of rangers going off to solo bosses by themselves, but I'm not. I'm not.
You don't want to go on the ship? What could possibly be on the ship?
What could possibly be in the
It's
ship?
a nice ship.
It's a very nice ship.
Do I think that if I used my climbing kit with my rope and pythons, I could maybe get some holes in there so that I could climb across?
Actually, if you can lower yourself down, I can grab you and pull you onto the ship.
Like the stern of the Kraken's Folly? Or because you're going to be climbing almost directly down towards the grave shell. So could you do that? Yes. Were you to fall, you would literally fall on the grave shell. Which I remind you, his back is just spikes.
I was more thinking the path that he took, where
Like
he
straight
swam across,
down.
like straight down.
And
Yeah,
then
well, the
he
problem
could
there
grab
is he went down through that access point in the fishery floor, which is like 5 feet out from anywhere near the pier. So you could set up a rope, anchor it somewhere in the fishery floor to like the vat itself or some of the pilings to the catwalks or something, and lower yourself down, but you'd still be 5 feet out from the pier.
even if I created like a bridge, so like 2 ropes that we could maybe crawl across?
How are you gonna get the second rope?
Yeah, like
I
it's
have rope.
You're hanging down a pit. How are you gonna get a rope coming from anywhere other than the pit that you came down?
I mean, we could
I
try
feel
to
like
do
there's
this.
an idea here. I just don't understand what it is.
What I mean to say is,
You could just
so he swam across, right?
He dropped in, swam to the pier very quickly, and pulled himself up.
So here's
you wouldn't need a second rope.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
swing.
Yeah.
You would just swing.
You could try to swing. You could absolutely attempt to Donkey Kong it. And
That
just
is
get down there and
exactly-
sort of
Well, you just have to get close enough that
swing
you
the
could be
5
grabbed.
feet out.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that I could do is Darren also has a rope. So we could basically have a rope coming down, someone hanging there. I throw them a rope, they grab it, and I pull them over.
Okay.
I'm not sure if there's enough ceiling clearance for that to be
So
possible.
you're kind of scheming back and forth, like shouting through
Yeah.
this access
Mm-hmm.
hatch. You're
Yeah.
trying to organize this as John goes out around and tosses a bucket of chum out near the grave shell. That kind of splashes into the water, and the grave shell does not seem terribly interested in a
That's-
bucket of fish crap.
That seems all right.
You never know.
He's a pretty big turtle. Like, grave shell looks like it's 10 feet across. So, like, it's real big.
Imagine how much soup you get out of that.
Turtle soup.
So a bucket of rot fish paste is not going to be super high on that thing's list of priorities. But
I figured it'd be like a pig.
as you have this conversation trying to figure out how exactly to get on this lower pier here, are you, I imagine it sounds like a thing that you're doing, you start lowering the rope
Yeah.
to secure it off.
Yeah,
on the
We're at least gonna
top
try
end.
and see if we can get a rope to like do
And
it.
you only got to lower it 8 feet or so down to
Mm-hmm.
this hatch. And it wouldn't be terribly difficult for one of you to put. It would take some time, but you could put some knots in it to make
Yep.
sure it's a little easier to hang on to.
I am very good at that.
Who going first?
Me.
Lower
Got to
yourself.
test the theory.
Lower yourself down to just the light of Darren's crossbow at this point. Really, is pretty much all that's below the pier. To attempt to sort of, with the assistance of his rope, kind of maneuver yourself over towards this dock. Make me an acrobatics check. This would make the most sense
Can I
to me.
assist since
you can
I'm hauling
assist
in?
with athletics. 'cause
God
you,
love.
Yeah, you can assist with athletics, but the person on the rope's doing acrobatics.
Gary.
So you're trying to like pull and swing yourself over to the pier here. This is almost literally like a carnival game.
I make it worse.
You have a -1 to your acrobatics check as Darren perhaps over or underestimates his own strength. What do you do? How is this worse?
I was I was going to kind of pull, but I'm kind of like yanking the rope out of Arden's grip and sort of.
Pulled too hard.
Could
He was very ready.
Could
Yeah.
you not? He'll start praying in Dwarvish. You'll hear him speaking a language many of you don't understand.
I don't know what you're saying. Was that pull harder?
Yes.
That's gonna be a 22 with the -1.
22, regardless of Darren's safety line, just making things worse. You're able to relatively deftly swing over, catch your feet on the edge of the pier, and from there he can pull you back up on relatively easily. The under pier here, somewhat surprisingly, is less algae slicked and mossy than the pier up above, and is honestly a little bit sturdier and less slick.
Because people take care of it.
Yeah, because it has any amount of effort put into it, it seems. But that puts Arden and Darren on this lower pier. Who else go down rope?
Plan's good, Reth. Come on down.
I reckon I ain't got much of a choice.
Give me an acrobatics check. Give me your athletics to assist. Let's say athletics first.
I make it worse.
He's learned nothing from the first. He's doing good.
It clearly worked, so I'll just yank the same hard.
That will be a 12.
With a 12, you're going to be able to swing yourself over. Again, no real help from Darren here. This pier is less slick.
I'm helping.
It's not slick. And as you kind of try to scramble for purchase on the edge, but make me a reflex save.
I don't know what my reflex save is. 1 second. Oh, good. It's
So,
plus
like,
9.
It can't be bad.
I was about to
And
say.
you failed.
And critical failure is what it looks like to me.
If you can't hit the big table with the tiny die.
Into the mouth of the grave shell.
So, 15.
15 is exactly
Oh, nice.
just going to get you
go.
onto the pier and
nice.
not into the water. down
Man, this
below.
plan's working great. All right, next one down.
I'm helping.
I'm helping.
Come back into the room. So I guess we figured out the plan, seeing as there's only floblins
Just
on here.
floblin.
By the way-
walk into your favorite situation, a horribly pungent fishery floor, and it's only floblin.
Pick them
for the
upside
record,
down, give
Floblin's
them
horrified.
slowly in the fishery cuts. My favorite situation: bully the goblin. All right.
going next?
Well, then, Gov, I guess you're next. I guess my ticket is number 5.
If it wasn't obvious, I'm not a huge fan of water.
You'll be fine. If you fall in, I'll jump in after you.
Well, you haven't seen what he's been doing. He's pulling a little too hard, and I almost saw him
Everyone's
fall.
fine.
Well, you'll see. You're much lighter. If he pulls you too hard, you just come flying towards him. You catch
You do know what happens if my hair goes out, and not naturally.
it. So you want me to go down there with all this gear first before you?
Fine. He nervously takes hold of the rope. 1, 2.
You're great.
I've got ya.
You got a very small, spicy goblin.
I make it work.
You get a -1 to acrobatics.
6.
And Floblin, as he swings, he is not comfortable. He is not at home. He's not got the reach to get to the pier as easily. And kind of in a sprawling flail of limbs. What happens, Floblin?
Well, at first I was counting, and then with John giving me that last little bit of shove, and the slippery
blame
floor
me.
just kind of throws me off balance. And with his vigorous tug and my tiny goblin body, I kind of almost do like a barrel flip in midair, trying to grab, like in midair, like almost cartoonishly, just re-grab the rope, look into the water below me, freaking out.
Sploosh.
I'm
I am
jumping in
probably
right
drowning.
after him.
Floblin drops in the water. John dives in. The three of you are standing on the pier, kind of in shock. And you hear
Throw him a rope!
behind
Throw him a
you
rope!
as you see
Get me out of here!
Throw
them a rope!
That was all
Descend.
wrong.
Everybody roll me some initiative.
I'm
I don't
scouting.
think you're going to get to roll stealth for this one, Floblin. But I'll let you roll acrobatics if you want to.
It's still better, what you said.
I roll athletics for diving.
Wow.
So, there is Big Turtle
There it is.
jeez.
back behind
We
the
dodged it the first
stern
campaign.
of the ship.
Oh, we might dodge it this time too.
I feel like you shouldn't be allowed to touch rope anymore.
What are you talking about? It worked great for the first 3 times.
I feel like that was despite you.
I can't swim!
That's okay. I'm literally right behind you.
Just
I'm turning into
flailing.
Trishik now.
John drops in the water.
This is okay.
You have to be a little
You
bit
see lots of cinches and smoke even more.
All right,
accent heavy.
Darren.
Darren got a. Is anyone scouting?
I'm scouting.
20.
Turtle's moving. Splash.
Floblin.
24.
Yeah, okay.
Panic.
John.
21.
Initiate panic mode.
Absolute panic, Ref.
I got an 11. I just got here. I'm not even situated
Arden.
yet.
19.
19. All right, pretty okay rolls, honestly. And our grave shell here, who is
54.
going to roll.
You did good.
He
I
rolled
did-
stealth
you
for
did
initiative.
good.
He was hiding. I mean,
We
you
knew
all
he
saw
was
him.
there.
We knew he was there.
Yeah, he'll roll perception.
Gotta get serious now.
Oh, the wand's out.
He's gonna get a 9.
Oh, thank goodness.
He's got a bit of a distance to come. He's back behind the pier, but he's clearly between the Floblin and John landing in has turned his attention that direction. But Floblin, how's the blind panic?
I'm gonna panically try and swim as best as I can, or panically flail towards whatever I can
I like
grab.
the word panic.
Boil the water out of your way.
I mean, athletics, I would think.
You are near, you're near one of the support pylons that's underneath the fishery floor.
Okay.
So as an action, if you want to use that to steady your stealth, you don't need to use athletics to swim, but you are here. You can't move super easily. That's the closest thing you could attempt to grab onto.
That's
for sure.
totally fine. I will.
So that'll be one action. You steady yourself there. You don't have to worry about drowning. Like it's too late.
Oh, it's coming! I'm going to attempt to climb up a little further and like get as far away from this aid as possible.
You climb up the support. Maybe an athletics check.
Believe it or not, I am actually trained in athletics.
Ooh, a spicy goblin scramble.
That's not a terrible roll either. That will be it's a 13.
With 13, you see Floblin kind of grabbing at this and scrambling, and these poles are absolutely slicked with river water, algae, and rot, and you are just trying to get any purchase on the outside of this. Not going anywhere. We got one action left.
Attempt to climb it again.
Do it
because
again.
I'm in full panic.
No penalty for doing it twice.
Oh, that's a little worse.
Like a cat at the end of a bathtub. Desperately trying to pull himself up. 0 progress. John comes in behind him.
I'm going to attempt to grab Floblin.
It's definitely just going to be athletics
Yeah.
against his fort because he is panicking.
Grab, pick up, throw it, Doc.
I can't actually read that.
It's an 8.
It's an 8.
It's an 8. I can see it from here.
What is
See it.
wrong with you? I
can't
can see it.
I can't
Shall
see
we
it.
take you to an
He's
optometrist?
taller, so
Probably.
the sharper
Does it say that
angle
even I can see it?
makes it harder.
15.
15. What's your fort DC, Floblin?
It's plus 10, right? Or
Plus 10, yep.
14. So
14. You grab a hold of Floblin and
All
he's
right, and then
flailing.
we're just gonna swim him towards the friends.
All right, swimming with the both of you is going to be a little difficult. Well, as anyone who has ever
Yes.
done any service as a lifeguard knows, this is the worst possible situation. Trying to swim with somebody who is panicking, but it's worse than a regular lifeguard because there's a murder turtle coming to eat you, and that doesn't happen that often in real life.
I'm very composed.
Athletics checks there.
Okay. I do have hefty haul. I know it doesn't apply to this, but I can carry heavy things.
Yeah, if you're not like, oh, it stops you being over encumbered
Yes.
carrying an entire
A
person.
whole person that's panicking.
I mean, in all fairness, I'm a tiny goblin. So.
It's a 5.
It's a 5. It gets progressively worse. That's a total of a 12.
With a 12 trying to drag Floblin. All you've really succeeded in doing is pulling him off of the pillar and then both of you going a bit underwater here.
Try again.
Can I throw him? I know it's a very difficult thing to do while you're...
If you throw him, you are going to be drowning, but you can try to throw him.
I'm going to try to throw him.
Make me an athletics check.
Yeah, see.
Kobe.
All right. Knock him in the back of the head and just try to toss him.
Dead weight's easier.
Hey, I got a hero point.
I have to have the grave shell on here because in the back of Age of Ashes 1, so I don't have my chat open right now. So I can't read what it says or who it's from.
John needs the help.
If he
From
does.
Nebula 315.
He
Nebula
absolutely does.
315.
Maybe
Thank you,
this will
Nebula.
apply to this exact situation.
Drain power.
Drain power.
I'm not even going to read it.
Oh, come on. What's the quote? What's the quote?
Oh, it's the quote? All right, I'll read
Is
the
it
quote.
vanilla?
Every last drop of magic. Guess who has no magic?
Might be a blind trader for later.
Yeah.
You have to roll now.
Gom toss.
It's a
It's
4.
progressively getting worse.
Hey, you read it that
Oh
time.
no.
Your dice sucks.
So
It does. It's a total of a 11.
flailing in the water, you see Floblin breach a couple inches for a second and splash back down again. John, nowhere to be seen in the darkness at
Guys?
this point.
Guys, do you think this is what the avalanche meant?
You take this. That is yours now. Give me die in exchange.
All right. So
It's devil's bargain.
Darren is going to kind of look at the horrendous progress that Floblin and John are making. Talk about cards later. Reach into his belt, pull out a climbing bolt. This is a specialized bolt that is, I think, in one of the newer books, but I found it in Path Builder. It looked cool,
Okay.
so I grabbed it. It seemed like good Sable Company gear, but basically it's a grappling hook, but it's built for a crossbow bolt. So
Interesting.
Fair enough.
Shoot Floblin.
load it.
That's a great idea.
Get up here. But no, load it and fire it into the piling right next to them, and then tie it off on the dock so they can haul themselves with the rope.
Okay. I will let you do that. Basically, it's 3 actions: load it, fire it, tie it off.
Perfect.
So that there is now a rope latched into the side of this pylon, kind of near John and Floblin, who are both at the moment underwater. Arden.
They should have constructed additional pylons. Okay.
Please
Let's
stop.
see. Oh, this is a good idea. He's gonna take out his fishing net.
How to make people drown faster.
He's gonna throw it out there and try to see if he can get the net over Floblin and pull him back in like a drowning
what's your
fish.
fishing level?
1.
Fishing.
This isn't FF14. I don't have a fishing level.
You can't use that item then.
You're gonna okay. So you have a fishing net. He's like 8 feet up from the pier.
This is
Make
within
me a ranged attack roll.
This is great. This is great.
This goblin is gonna have nightmares about this the rest of his life.
That's what happens.
Ask
when
me
you don't
how I have
confidence in
PTSD.
yourself.
That's a 19.
That's
Floblin, as you feel yourself shot up out of the water for a moment, and you can briefly see the pier before you splash back down. As you scramble and try to pull yourself back up to the surface, you feel yourself entangled in a net.
and then I'm gonna pull.
Still underwater.
Panic intensifies even further.
So then you basically are ready to aid him when he tries to get out.
Yes.
Is what I'm going to say this is here. Reth. Poor Floblin.
Nothing but net. Kobe.
I'm watching this. Arms crossed, just like a net. A bolt.
It's a rope.
And the turtle's coming. Okay.
You want to handle the turtle?
I'm going to pull out my gun and ready to shoot as soon as I see it.
You need to load your gun. We've scammed over it so far. You can't carry your gun loaded on your back. You got to, same with the crossbow. You got to pull it out and load it first.
Because
before
I
you can do
didn't
stuff.
roll stealth, I can't draw it as a free action.
Sure, if that's gunslinger
Th-
mechanics.
that's-
I just mean generally.
Yeah,
I have
every
no idea what
gunslinger has a way
gunslinger-
to pull their gun out for free.
Okay, I was like, I don't know what gunslinger
Yeah.
mechanics are, but like generally, when you pull it out, it's not gonna be loaded.
I don't know where the turtle is. So
You know,
I
the
can't-
turtle's back behind the stern. Like it's going under. You can see, like this is your first
Oh,
reaction.
I can
to
see
seeing
the
all
turtle.
this.
Turtle hasn't gone under yet.
It's like right under the water. You can see where the turtle
Okay,
is.
pull, load, bang.
Easy.
So I can't believe it's one action to load a
Easy.
freaking archivist. So
D8 damage.
big old gunshot as he shoots this siege cannon at the turtle.
Load, and boom. Let's see what happens to the turtle.
Turtle.
Twiddle.
Turtle.
Well, the turtle man, too wild.
Turtle is going to get blasted for a 15.
15, you shoot and you see your bullet hit in the water with a spray. It's a little underwater. You're not really sure if that's connected or anything. If it's not anything meaningful, you can't see any immediate reaction. I'm going to tell you that it is not going to have enough velocity to get through a few inches of water and also a turtle shell.
You would be surprised what happens to bullets upon impact with a small amount of water.
Obliteration nearly instantly. Like an inch of water will protect you better than a bulletproof vest in most situations. It's crazy how fast. That was a Mythbusters episode, I
Yeah.
think, actually, too. Those things lose all traction
The faster the
instantaneously.
bullet, the less water it needs to be completely obliterated.
Kids,
Turtle.
don't try anything we do on this show. We're professionals.
Don't try swinging on a rope over
I'm
water
not
for
a
a great shell.
professional.
It's not a good idea.
Turtle is going to sink down under the pier and shoot with a pretty surprising speed up towards the writhing mass of John and Floblin.
Mostly
But of those two, the general mouthful-sized, glowing, red, flailing goblin currently entrapped in a net, absolutely looking delicious to this grave shell right here. Now, it's going to take it 2 move actions to get under the pier and come back up, so I am going to use Reckless Charge,
Hey.
which is almost exactly sudden charge the fighter feat, just on demand. And this turtle's going to shoot up, mouth open, and you can just barely through the darkness of the water see this giant maw open wide enough to fit a whole goblin in there. Come towards you.
Small size creatures.
Well, it's been fun, kids.
You're fine. You're fine.
You'll be good. You'll be good.
You'd be good.
You haven't been hit yet.
he
You're
doesn't
good.
like nets.
Oh, and it was.
You got stabbed by
Kids.
orphans.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nothing.
21.
That is a hit.
Not a crit?
Not the
Not a
crits.
crit.
Yeah.
I hope your AC's not 11 or something has gone horribly wrong.
He's
in
not
character
me.
No.
creation.
He
I was
is
about to
not
say,
me.
it's
I
not,
mean, I'm
this isn't
entangled,
Colby.
so
He's gonna munch you for 6 points of piercing damage, as this thing's maw really is just like a massive beak. The top of the head staying firm, while the bottom half, almost like a pelican, just snaps up, and it is going to attempt to grab a hold of Floblin, drag him back into the depths of the river here. Fortunately, it does not have the grab abilities, but it does have to roll for that. So this is your fort DC,
Oh,
and it's
Don't roll a 1.
14 with the -5.
that is exact DC.
You see this thing snap and grab onto Floblin. That's 3 actions. Floblin!
That's not good.
So, if I'm grabbed, I'm technically incapacitated, correct?
No,
No?
you should have status cards out there somewhere. Grab basically just means that you're immobilized and you're flat-footed. So you can't move without escaping, and you have a -2 to your AC. And as this grave shell grabs onto Floblin and the net, make me a fortitude save. Is this net suddenly going to yank real hard?
Somehow
making sure.
out pull it, and it ends up on the dock.
We land the grave shell on its back.
Well, I do have steadying stones, so that's good.
What's that?
It gives me bonuses to be able to balance on the earth, like to my
Hey,
foot.
you're not on the
That's
earth.
a wooden pier. That's
Not on the
definitely
earth.
not on the earth here. I'd give it to you in a building. Definitely not giving it to you on a wooden pier.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, 10.
You see as Arden tightens his grip and goes to pull, boom, he gets yanked into the water by a pretty hefty force.
Oh boy.
It's like somebody who's about to do water skiing, and then just get yanked off the
Oh.
skis.
All right, Floblin, we're serious this time.
He's just in full panic mode right now.
I would imagine every initiative step has made your situation worse.
You get that feeling you have right now in the pit of your gut? That was Raz 24/7.
I will never play.
This fight's going great.
Fighting people is way easier.
So, I guess I'm grabbed and in a net and underwater. This is fantastic. All
You
right,
are
so
immobilized and entangled and flat
just take calm, deep breaths.
Can't breathe.
Don't do that. Be above the water first.
So-
what is your Constitution modifier?
my Constitution modifier, it is a +1.
So right now you can hold your breath for 6 turns
Okay.
before you start drowning. If you take any strenuous actions, this turn's going to count basically as 2. And take it. I don't know if it's strenuous or actions with the attack trait. Let me double check that while you tell me what you're going for here.
All right. So the only way I can really escape the jaws of this thing and entangled, I have to escape both somehow. So
You can make one check to escape to try to pull yourself out of all of this. Escape the things that are grabbing you.
you know, I'm going to. Floblin is in panic mode and everything. He pulls out his sickle that he has on his belt, and he's going to try and stab the roof of the mouth of the turtle to escape.
The sickle starts whacking at it.
Well, I mean, I would
So,
imagine from the inside
Are
of its
you-
mouth.
Is this an escape check or an attack roll?
I mean,
You can make an attack roll as an escape check.
think-
But basically, is it to get away or to do damage? What's the goal here?
well, I would imagine doing damage to get out of it.
Fair
but,
enough.
Yeah. And plus, believe it or not, attacking it is a higher modifier.
And slashing? Is sickle slashing or piercing?
It is.
I would think it would be slashing.
Slashing.
Okay, so you have a -2 for you wielding it underwater.
Oh, in that case, I probably should do it acrobatics instead. Then I
Can't you do
didn't realize
to
that.
break
so-
out?
What?
Can't you do unarmed to break out?
It's still the -2.
it's
'cause
bludgeoning.
Because of bludgeoning
You
attack.
need piercing's the only thing that works on underwater.
I thought that was just you make a check to break out.
It is your unarmed attack, but it is an attack trait. So I imagine the underwater penalty would apply to it. I don't know if that's right. But that's what I'm saying.
If I'm
you
still
escaping?
pulling, can I still assist?
You're in the water. How are you gonna assist?
Well, in that case, I'm gonna.
Pull really
Pull
hard.
anymore. It's slack now.
So if hitting it with a slashing weapon is gonna give me -2, I'm gonna just try escaping instead and just like
Acrobatics. All right.
acrobatics.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Because I was like, I forgot about the penalty.
Swing a
So.
weapon underwater is kind of rough.
Oh, that's not terrible. That is going to be 19 altogether.
19. Inexplicably, this small goblin manages to worm his way out of the net and the grave shell's mouth.
Woo!
Leaving him now underwater, not being eaten by a turtle, but still immediately adjacent to a big, angry turtle.
I am gonna use my remaining actions to get as far away from the turtle and close to the docks as
Give
possible.
me an athletics check.
You got it. That's a double-digit number.
That's the bar today.
That is a
19 again.
With a 19 from where you're at, as you flail, some of this net still kind of drooping off you, but mostly free, and break the surface, you see Darren with a rope shot into the lower part of this piling here. Scramble forward and pull yourself up on the pier next to Darren. The swim and a climb, pull yourself up out of the water. Flavlin has escaped turtle hell. He has traded places with Arden. Who is also in turtle hell.
places. So I'm underwater.
You're underwater.
Is there, how clear is the water?
Not.
Not.
You barely know what up
It is. You're not sure how deep it is here, but it's somewhat near the embankment. It's night. The only real source of light is basically a single torch above the water, and this grave shell has kicked up a lot of silt
that's
moving
fair.
out. So
That's
it's
fair.
not clear. You
Not
probably
clear.
you probably don't even know Arden's fallen in.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know anything. All right, cool.
You know, it's a turtle. You can probably see the turtle.
And I don't see the light from his.
You see Flavlin disappear
Burning,
somewhere.
yeah.
He either got eaten or he got out. One of the two.
Cool. We're gonna have athletics to swim.
All right.
That is the thing I have to do.
Kinda.
That's a 9.
Not getting you out of the water with a 9. Not getting you to the surface with a 9.
Not getting me anywhere with a 9.
No.
We're gonna keep athleticsing to swim because I don't want to fight turtle. That's a total of a 15.
15. What are you trying to do? Just get to the surface?
I'm trying to get up to the surface to catch my bearings.
15 will absolutely get you to the surface of the water, where again the blackness of what you can see in the river. Your vision is filled with the light from this torch illuminating. Still 3 people standing on the dock, but it's a different 3 people than it was when you went under.
Never mind.
Grab the line.
Oh, there's a line.
You're a bit of a distance from it, but with that 15, you could swim over to it and make a final check to try to pull yourself
Yeah,
out.
we're gonna make a final check to pull myself out.
Because he was
Another
next,
15.
He was next to it. He could just grab it with that first check. The 15, you would be able to grab this line and pull yourself up onto the pier as well. If you just Arden in the water with the grave.
What's Auden?
What do you
You probably
think?
see the splash.
Right.
Man.
Darren's gonna just reach out, try to grab Arden and haul him out of the water.
Okay, this is athletics. Check the encounter. Also make the athletics check, good sir.
13.
13's reach down's not quite going to be able to get a hold and help Arden back up.
Can I devote the rest of my actions?
Yeah, you
to do
can
that?
try it again. It's not
Let's
attack
keep
variance,
going. I'm just kind of grab.
Grabby.
Oh, there you go. 18 on the die.
That'll
24.
definitely.
Yeah.
So that will enable you to aid. I don't imagine that you would be able to, from this position, physically just like fully lift Arden up out of the water. But that will be an aid another. I guess it's just pre-rolled aid another with those actions to help Arden get out himself.
And Arden did see the line that he threw out, so now that he's kind of grabbing me, I'm going to use that momentum to kind of reach up and grab the line and use it to propel me back onto the deck.
Your athletics with a +1 from Darren assisting you.
Can I use acrobatics instead? If I'm trying to
Absolutely
climb along the line? Nope, didn't think so.
You gotta pull yourself up out of the water.
Get that
Triple
cursed
backflip
thing
not gonna
away
save
from
you.
me.
That's 15.
15 on the die with his assistance is absolutely
Yeah,
gonna get
16.
you up out of the water.
Total?
Yeah. I don't have any athletics. What do you think this is?
So, okay, well, good thing you're there then. I assumed you had any modifier. My mistake. Arden pulled up now, getting all 5 of you back up on the pier. Would still leave you with 2 actions, as you can see the shape of this grave shell in the water kind of at the inner crook of this pier as it angles in front of the Kraken's folly.
No. Bad turtle.
Wild empathy to talk down to the
Yes.
No.
Bad turtle.
Don't bite
Go
me
back
specifically.
underwater.
Sit. Go lay down.
Food.
Make me a diplomacy check.
Roll a 20.
I love the druid untrained in diplomacy. This is my favorite thing. I have wild empathy. It doesn't say I'm good at it. It says I have it.
You rolled a diplomacy.
That is an 8.
The turtle now likes you slightly less.
Turtle does not appear to be listening. You're not sure if it hears you. You guys are... You were told Arden claims to be a druid.
Hey, the dog liked me just fine.
We saw it work with the
Dog
dog.
ran away. It did stop biting you, though.
I'm gonna load my gun, take a look around, and all right. Now that we're out of the water, can we actually do something?
Yeah. I don't think the turtle's gonna come after
I
us.
think that depends on
Is the
him.
turtle gonna come after us? How high up the water is this dock?
I'm gonna aim at the
foot.
turtle, and if the turtle comes at us, I am readying an action to blast the turtle.
Are you ready to shoot the turtle if the turtle comes up out of the water?
If it tries to come at us up on the dock,
God, it has
I'm
wings
shooting
that
the turtle.
fly.
You see the turtle kind of thrash a bit with this net in its mouth, clamp down on the fishing net that
It's
it
flossing.
is now claimed. That's the turtle's net now. Before with a pretty big splash and rush of water to fill the void left behind, the spikes and shell of the turtle drop back below the water out of sight. It is definitely not going to attempt to chase you up on the pier. That's not what it's here for.
Well, that was exciting.
I really thought that he could be my friend.
I'm sure he would love to be your friend.
But
and
with all the
have
rigor,
you for dinner.
do you of
Know
its
how to swim?
of all the rigor?
I'm
of
a
its-
fire goblin. I
That-
can't swim.
That makes no sense at all.
I think I should have tugged
Fire
harder.
and water
Wait.
don't mix.
I just need to
I
pull
get it
harder on the
now.
rope.
That's why you're called Floblin. Okay.
You should
Out of
really-
frustration, his
you should
hair
really not
finally
be
reignites.
allowed around rope anymore.
What? Worked out great. What are you talking about? Everyone was fine, and then Floblin fell in the water.
The problem fell into water. I thought I was going to have problems, but it was him. He's light. He's small.
Well, the most important thing is that we're all fine, and
I'm
no
wet.
one got hurt.
I'm wet and it is cold.
Flobbin starts cursing obscenities in Goblin and goes to heal himself casting.
And you can see where the water's starting to settle now. It's still pretty rough and disturbed, but his turtle had disappeared. All of the action seems to have dislodged the soaked corpse that was floating on its back, which just kind of bobs on the water alone for a few seconds before it gets yanked back down beneath the surface.
Well, he can keep that one. That's
He deserves it. It's a price for him.
So there's a hatch on the side of the ship over there, and then back.
Keep this still down there.
Yep, yeah, it's still there.
Put that token away.
He's handing her. I'll give him by the mat.
And then this pier heads back to a door built into the embankment there. I'm not sure where it came out in the building. I was gonna go check, but well.
So the door in the third level of the fishery would be apparent to everyone, but the hatch on the side of the Kraken's Folly was not really visible, grown over as it is until Darren points it out. But as he does, all of you would be able to see that's clearly visible behind you as well.
Do you want us to check the ship, or do you want to go to the building?
There's probably less space in the ship than the building, so I'd probably say check the ship first.
Might
Swablin's
as well.
casting some spells over here in the corner, I believe.
I healed myself and I rolled like a 2. So
That's 10.
That's
I go up 2 more hit points because I am not doing great.
You use
Why
a
two?
second level
You're
heal.
casting heal, right?
Yeah.
That's D8,
D8
plus 8.
plus 8.
Oh, D8 plus my
unless you
apologies.
cast it like with a once
Oh,
action.
So
So you get 10 back.
okay, I'll get that. You know that
The
puts
only
me back in
reason-
full. So yes,
the
I
only
will
reason
do
you
that.
would ever use a one action heal is like an emergency get up
Because
button.
you
Okay.
only have one action.
I misunderstood.
I'm going
Yeah,
to
you
say
normally, casting it normally, it's going to be D8 plus 8.
Yeah, my bad.
If you're not
this
pressed,
one-
I was reading the card and it didn't say it.
John
So.
is going to ready his long spear. He just takes it out, pulls off the little leather sheath he has over the tip because you don't want to hurt yourself when you're carrying this stuff.
Do you think
50 weapons.
50 weapons.
Do you think-
Swift army knife.
that was the beating?
No.
What beating?
The beating.
No one got
that
beat
was-
up.
That was the drowning. He was drowning.
I don't
really
remember there
teach
being a
you how to
drowning on the
swim.
cards.
well, that's
At
least
because this isn't
how to
pertaining
stay
to
calm.
the cards.
You know,
It
if
could
you
be.
panic when you're
But it
drowning, it
ain't.
makes it very
Not
hard to
yet.
rescue you.
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
You about took my eye out.
I wasn't trying to do it on purpose. Hello, fire, water, don't mix.
This doesn't make any sense to me.
Darren, do you think you're the paladin?
I'm not a paladin.
All right, Zen. I'm just gonna push past everyone to wherever that entryway is. Like, okay, excuse me, pardon me.
I'm gonna put the
To
bayonet
the one of the building or the ship?
to the ship.
ship.
The hatch on the ship, once located, would be relatively easy for you to lift up and enter. Obviously, it's not locked or barred or anything from the inside. It lifts up a little bit from the frame before swinging outwards towards the pier, actually causing you to kind of shuffle around it a bit to get it all the way open, because it opens onto the relatively narrow pier very awkwardly from this end. But from the light of Darren's crossbow, it allows you to see inside the very dark and dank, mildew-filled hold of the Kraken's folly. There are quite a few barrels and crates and other containers stacked here and there around the interior of the ship, and you can see a staircase near the center that must lead up to the aft cabin of the upper deck. Dust and grime cover near the entirety of the floor, save for where they're replaced by stagnant pools of water that have coalesced over time.
All right, then. Ship's clear. Close the door.
I miss Stone. Stone didn't smell.
Well, we're about to find some more. Whatever we're going to be finding under that.
Right.
I don't even know is this place at this point.
Flop, do us all a favor and just stand in the back. Stand behind Arden.
I mean,
to cause trouble wherever you are.
I don't do it on purpose. It just finds me.
I gotta recover this. I'm using it up.
This is becoming more of a headache than I thought it would.
Now it got getting stabbed repeatedly back in the building didn't cause you a headache. I guess you never got hit in the head until that bucket hit you in the head.
That
was a really good throw.
That was actually a very excellent throw. I expect nothing less from the city. Anyways, the threat of getting stabbed at any given moment in this city is actually fairly high.
Yeah, I've spent my whole life here. It's really never been something I've been worried about.
3 times on my first day here.
You should stop staying in that area of town.
Where are you staying, the Narrows?
I was just walking. So, I guess, do you want to take lead, or do you want me to take lead?
I can take lead. That's fine.
That's probably. They like to throw things at me when I'm in front.
I'll be third.
So Darren will have, I guess he'll hang the crossbow off of his belt, sword and.
Parrying
That's
dagger?
just parrying. Yeah, let's just use parrying dagger so I can have a hand free.
Fair enough. Making your way up to the door. This is an exterior door of the building, and posed above the river as it is, it's quite hefty. It is a massively thick block of wood set in its frame, much more so than the rest of the doors on the top. And around its edges is actually reinforced with some fairly rusted iron plating set into the frame as well. The handle of the door is inset clearly with a pretty large lock, and your first attempt at the handle shows that it is in fact latched.
Well, I don't suppose anyone has any probes or hooks. I didn't think to ask to borrow a set.
The door wooden?
I mean, I do have some hooks,
It
but
is
they're
wooden,
fishing.
but notably
hooks.
with the space underneath the pier here, the door is also actually quite small. It's only about 3.5 feet tall.
Wow.
I have some climbing hooks.
Let me try. I saw someone do this once. Let me see if I can pull this out. He's gonna take his dagger, and then try to rake the lock with the dagger. So improvised tools.
Untrained thieving check with improvised tools, or is it
I'm
trained
actually
thieving check?
trained.
Trained thieving check.
Trained
with
thieving. I don't have
improvised
thieves tools. But
All right, give me your thieving check. I don't remember what the penalty for improvised tools is, but if you're like right on the DC, we'll figure it out.
That's an 18. Would modify it however you want.
18, as you reach in with a dagger, the lock seems not horribly complicated, but just trying to make it function with a dagger is almost untenable, and you're
think we
unable to
can-
get it open.
Okay.
You think
So-
we could try to lift it off its hinges?
You know the iron.
You can
I-
get a
iron-
wrench in there and lever
There's
it.
a level 1
Can I-
gunslinger feat.
You have it?
I don't, but I'll give you a card to use it.
Is this allowed? Can we
Blast
do this?
lock.
No.
Can I manifest some thieves tools, sir? Please,
It's
sir.
blast lock.
I have a
gonna-
card.
I shoot the lock,
Can I?
and it blows up where it gets harder to
No,
thievery.
you don't have the thieves. You
is
can
there-
shoot the lock, but nothing valuable is
You,
gonna
you
happen.
know, iron
Is there a
doesn't like.
gap in the bottom? Is it like a little bit of a gap in the bottom of the door?
This door, being barely 3 feet tall, is almost completely square and is set firmly into its frame. You couldn't get much more than like the
Alright.
blade of a knife.
Is the lock
around it.
made out of iron?
You do have thieves tools.
I have them written down. Did
Do
I?
you have thieves' tools?
I have them written down.
Bust down the door.
Hang on. Did I actually? I actually bought them. I'm a fool who does not understand what he has on his character sheet. I am so sorry.
Trying it with a dagger doesn't work, so then I guess perhaps maybe shamefully you pull out your lock-picking set.
It's not even shameful. He's like,
Wait, Zen, what is this on your back?
oh my god, I did borrow them.
Good job. Always come prepared.
I might have not filled out the paperwork specifically for these.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You shouldn't break them though.
Let's see. So I've got the wave, and I've got the hook.
I think that's one goes in.
No, it's not. Tension bar. This goes. Pulls out a book, looks at it.
You know,
Yeah, tension bar goes here.
You know,
I got it. All right.
iron doesn't like acid.
Try to rake it open.
do I give you the 18 or do I make you roll it again?
Oh, you
How are
gotta
you
make him
feeling?
roll it
Let
again.
me aid
I'll
him.
make you roll it
Make
again.
it roll again.
Immediately breaks the.
Attempt 2.
He rolled an 18.
So that's going to be a 24.
Oh, okay. 24, now that he's got actual tools here. Raking across this, has got the tension. You would feel, and everyone else would hear a click as the handle gives and turns.
Oh my god, it worked! I did it! Did you see that?
Good job. I'm so proud of you
He's
and
got
your
the
less
pick
than desirable
upside
skills.
down.
That's so
He's just putting a
cool.
flat bar into the lock, and it happens to just need that.
That's how you rake a lock.
By the door. Swinging open this squat wooden door here as you're all heading in. Just a quick reminder of what everybody is doing. You're seeking. At the front here,
Scouting.
and you're scouting. Floblin's in the back hiding. What are you two doing?
Avoiding notice.
Also hiding and
Seeking.
also seeking.
I get my benefits for doing that.
Just double checking our expiration actions.
comes over your shoulder.
We have to watch to make sure that the young one doesn't steal our stuff.
You push open the squared door and duck into a chamber, which is a bit cooler than the air outside. The odor near matching that of the ambient river here on the pier, thanks to a huge opening in the floor in front of you, again just exposed to the river waters below. Several pilings emerge from the waters to support the roof, just barely 8 feet above the floor. It's a very squat, cramped little room with mossy ropes slung between them. In several different places, you can see sets of rusty manacles attached to the ropes over this massive, 20-foot pit of water that is the vast majority of this interior chamber, only really leaving a 6-foot walkway around its outside and maybe a 15-foot platform on the far end. There are a collection of old cabinets, lock boxes, and piles of clutter just sort of strewn throughout the room, mostly consolidated at the far end where there's a little more space. And there's a bunch of just clutter, knickknacks, chipped bits of porcelain plates, cracked goblets, badly rusted silverware, even an old wooden shield with a crossbow bolt still embedded into it, littering the floor, in almost the world's most depressing treasure hoard that you can see at the far end.
One man's trash.
Look this stuff.
3 tables rise up from this mess, heaped with even more stuff. And the area is segmented into one further chamber at the farthest corner from you by another relatively stout wooden door. But as you hit the crit crouch and get yourself through this small passageway here and rise up, finding yourself only a few feet from this open water, there's a figure standing by the 3 tables with a small hand crossbow already trained on you. The man's a bit more well-dressed than most of those that you've seen throughout the fishery, with a nice quilted coat drawn around a fine shirt and a red scarf underneath it. A finely made black hat with a feather poking from it perched atop his head. He's got dank gray hair dangled down his face, covered with the wear and recesses of age. He is clearly a fairly old man, and his hunched stance adds to that overall immediate appearance. He doesn't even have his arm held all the way out with the hand crossbow. He's got it kind of angled back a bit in a bit of a more comfortable position, but still trained directly on you as you squeeze through this door, pretty much unable to defend yourself as you enter. I don't recognize you. Oh, come on, inch along that wall. Get the rest of your friends in here where I can see them.
seeking as I am, give a quick look in the area he's motioning me towards. Does it look like that's like a trap area?
He's
or
motioning you to just move along the southern wall here opposite him, just to make space.
it's not one of those like a little to the left and then
yeah.
pull the lever and drop us into the.
None of the floor here looks any different than anything else. It looks like this section in the middle has been half caught and half cut and half just kind of busted out of the floor to make this huge pit. But assuming you do sidle along the wall,
Yeah.
you don't see any reason it's any less safe than anywhere else. Either direction is going to be on a thin walkway around the outside of this.
Okay.
You can see a very large shape in the water below from the torchlight of this chamber. And you can make me a perception check as you sidle in here.
Oh, man. Okay. 25.
25, there is a fairly bloated crocodile set in the shallow waters, maybe 8 feet down. The water's like a foot down, and maybe a little below that. So it's impossible to tell how deep it is, but the water doesn't appear to be terribly deep. Just maybe a little more than enough to cover this massive beast, which just seems to be resting down there. In hole bad. Crocodile in hole.
Crocodile in hole. Okay.
He keeps his hand crossbow trained on you, and the rest of you can see that he's clearly, that Darren is clearly in contact with someone. And how are you? What are you doing? As he demands this of you.
Do I recognize him?
Do you?
Do I?
Have you seen him?
Unlikely, me. I probably wouldn't have met him. I probably would have just heard.
Yeah, I don't think you've seen him, so
Okay.
I don't think you would. Because I have all your things right here.
I do.
Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think you.
I don't think I know who this guy is.
You
Okay.
can make some assumptions, but
So I'll kind of get crouched carefully, just kind of creep in and says, "And who might you be? You dressed pretty well for this place."
I could say the same of you. Are you a Sable Company wannabe? Marine in training? Thinking to bust it big, taking down an old man, selling dock dumplings out of a fishery? And turns his crossbow the doorway again, as I assume the next person in line is going to be coming in, which is
Me.
you.
Yep.
So as you come in as well, have you
I've seen him.
You would then recognize the face of Gaedren Lamm.
Yep. That's the man that took me in.
So, you. I don't recall your name, but the face strikes a familiar. You had the ring. That was a fine one.
Yes.
Fenced that for quite a pretty penny. Financed my operations for weeks. One of the better hauls I've found in recent months. I should be thanking you. Have you brought me more?
Well, I actually came to ask for it back, but if you fenced it, I guess. Well.
Along the back wall, please. I heard the sounds of. It sounded like at least 3 or 4 of you out there.
Just 3.
And as you, what do you do?
I'm gonna come in. I think there's just 3 of us.
All right, maybe a deception check.
Am I a liar?
Well,
18.
you're a
Yes,
liar,
you're
but
a
are you
liar.
good at being a liar?
18.
I don't think this guy has perception. They whoopsies perception in the thing for him. So let me look. He's supposed to be pretty okay. 18, you said?
Yes.
With 18, he kind of nods, just motions the hand crossbow if you to make space.
And I just motioned, come on, Arden. He knows all 3 of us are here.
And Arden would come in as well. And you would also see this man here with the crossbow, kind of aimed at the 3 at the back wall. And who is this now? What a ragtag group of sods you are. So what is this, a friend in a Sable Company Marine? You've come to try to get your ring back from me, whoever it was you were? Who even are you?
I could care less about his ring. You have my nephew, Colin.
You think I bothered to learn their names?
Oh, this is Lamb.
Yes, this is Lamb. Good job. He's not very bright.
You
He
are
Turns
slow.
the crossbow back towards Darren. And you've been led here. What did they tell you then, boy? You're just searching for a ticket to join the Marines?
You're a shiver merchant.
Among other things.
Load crossbow.
You keep loading your crossbow in
Right
front of him?
him. Yeah.
So you gotta load his crossbow. His face kind of drops. At least you've made it easy for me. Gobblegot's dinner's here! And he calls out towards the middle pit as you loading is obviously gonna get us to roll some initiative.
There's a
here.
crocodile in the pit, by the way.
become very apparent to everyone, I imagine. You can absolutely use stealth.
Yeah.
You can use deception, if you please, John. You can use stealth because you're sneaking outside as well. It's going to be perception only for Arden and Darren in the room here. Ooh. And
You are
take us
ready for it.
Woo, I'm on
I am
fire.
over here
Was not expecting him to just load across. What are you doing?
is Gaedren Lamm, and you can just put this vaguely in the pit. Here is a particularly large, what seems to be
I love
very
him.
well-fed crocodile.
I want to keep him as a pet.
It's
Looks
okay.
like a chunky lad.
I can definitely talk to him.
I do not have fond memories of this thing.
Flavlin outside, what is your initiative here?
We still get the +1 from scouting.
Yes.
Okay, so then 18.
Not bad. John?
9. I like
good.
that number. That's a
Darren?
good number.
Apparently.
28.
Darren loads crossbow with intent.
Shame.
21.
Well, I got 18, so you're in here. And Reth.
11.
All right.
I'm in the middle again, at least.
Surprised I was able to lie to the man.
Get our things in here.
The one high roll I got.
I mean, you did a good job of lying. You're a good liar. Proud of
Apparently.
you.
I'm not really a farmer. Actually, boss.
Gaedren maybe was not expecting this to devolve so quickly. He's going to get a 16. And Gobblegut. Gobblegut's going to get a 22.
You hungry?
Dinner.
So, Darren, loading crossbow in the
Load
distance.
crossbow.
You are first. He
Hunt,
doesn't react terribly quickly to that. Neither does any of your team, really.
hunt prey Gaedren Lamm.
Hunted.
You. I guess load crossbow is gonna be my first action technically.
Yes.
Yep. Load crossbow, hunt prey, and whip a bolt and fire it at him.
All right.
Bump.
Oh, that's a 2 on the die. So that's gonna be that's an 8.
You shoot very quickly out towards Gaedren Lamm. Excitement perhaps getting the better of you.
Totally getting the better. of me.
Crossbow goal, that's going to critically miss. Crossbow bolt goes pretty wide, bouncing off the walls behind him. As at this noise, and a bunch of you in the room here, Gobblegut down in the water below starts to rise up. And you see crocodile eyes on the surface, but he's just kind of sitting there. He's not.
Turns out he's in the water.
He is in the water.
Oh, they know I'm
He's-
here. I'm an ambush predator.
He's just sort of, you see his face kind of surface, so you can just see the bridge of his upper jaw and the eye ridges. You see his huge form under the water pivot a bit to kind of face you, but he doesn't do anything.
It's a crocodile.
It's a crocodile, like he's...
You're not in the water.
The man's not a druid. Just not Gobblegut, attack! And it doesn't have the minion trait. It's just a freaking crocodile. Arden. He's literally just the leg. He's not doing anything.
The Cyrus were like, noise?
He heard the noise that accompanies when he's fed. There's not food in the water.
Gobby, had you considered that guy is really good food? Like, he's really good food. If we get him anywhere near there, you should really jump up and take a bite out of him.
You're my friend
Arden's
now.
trying.
Oh, you stupid.
Yes.
I'm a druid.
No, that's in a language that he can't understand.
Are you saying Druid?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
yeah.
fair enough.
And crocodile length.
The crocodile. She's speaking Steve Irwin.
Mate.
Crikey.
Awesome, biggin.
Look at this build.
Another 8.
This ain't a meal.
Eight.
That's a meal.
That's a build.
8.
Another 8.
Lord.
That's a lucky number.
Gobblegut does not respond. He sits and is a crocodile.
Or alternatively, granulated adamantine. And he'll throw a claw that emerges up from behind Gaedren Lamm and gouges at him.
Okay. Is it attack roll, I think, right?
Yes, it is. This is lethal because I am not in the mood to pull my punches on this man.
That's fair.
That is going to be a 23.
Bonk.
23 is absolutely going to hit. It comes out from behind him. The man does not react. He reacts kind of surprisingly quickly, but is still just kind of gobsmacked by the immediate descent to violence.
He will take 6 slashing damage as the claw rips through him.
All right. Floblin outside.
Well, I'm gonna get in there all sneaky like. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. I'm gonna do right about there. That's perfect. And it's of course I heard Lamb, and I
You come in
immediately.
and you see Lamb, and
Yeah.
you see him. He turns to you. Floblin.
Does he see me?
You have
You
no
walked in
cover,
the
so
open.
Yeah.
No.
You're
As
not.
soon as you walk
you're
in.
not
You're not
Kashyyyk. You because as
Fair,
you come to
fair.
the door, you're visible.
Well, I don't have cover
Yeah.
yet. Cause
I'm not going-
I'm a firing my laser.
Okay.
Floblin, just scurries in there, and then you immediately see him charging up his fiery beam once again. Dakankurl! Fire ray. His-
As you shoot, who would be stupid enough to bring Floblin on purpose?
It's not on purpose. He
That's
just
going to
followed us.
be because of burn.
I feel
I
you.
get +1 because it's a fire spell. So 18 on the attack spell attack roll.
18, you go to shoot. The man is already reactively dodging the second he sees you come into the room. And even still, just barely gets out of the way as this ray singes across his shoulder.
However, after it fires off, you see the smoke that was going off at first. It intensifies to the point where it almost covers me. Now I am at moderate curse, so I have concealment from my own smoke.
You get moderate curse level 1.
Yeah, you get moderate. You don't
Yeah,
get
Oh.
major.
you just don't get
Yep,
major.
you don't get major.
Floblin is smoky goblin.
I
And
need to look up more oracle
Gaedren
stuff.
looks
They
like,
got a
oh
lot of
But he
dear
also
gods,
has
are you all
peripheral vision now.
stupid? Floblin! And he takes the crossbow and extends it out and lowers it and shoots Gobblegut.
I see what you're doing here.
Eat them, you useless lump! Do something!
This is
He doesn't speak crocodile. It's not going to work.
And he is going to hit Gobblegut with his crossbow.
Does it look like there's multiple crossbows hanging out of the crocodile?
Who is going to
Multiple
take
crossbow bolts.
9 points of piercing damage. And then he's absolutely taking his turn next. He's very angry now as Gaedren sort of fumbles to reload his crossbow here. And as he does, with an enraged roar, Gobblegut shoots up out of the water. With a critical failure, he probably doesn't like you very much, so probably to Arden. And this huge
No,
crocodile
no.
snaps up towards
I
you.
think we leave the crocodile to the druid.
But bad croc.
Yeah, he seems to have it well in hand.
Yes, he's doing
first-
great.
Oh, look at how good of a friends they are already.
They're already hugging.
Give
He
me
is
this.
going to launch, and his fat little hands scramble against the pilings, where you can see the inside of them are marred by massive gouges from doing this numerous times. He's got to get himself a decent bit up out of the water to get at you. He succeeds the climb check to get up.
The crocodile is climbing. Crocodiles can climb.
Crocodile is climbing.
It's horrifying.
That's
And he's going to bite at you for a 19.
that's going to hit.
This is common Floridian occurrence every day.
That's why we're
We gotta
so
fight him off on
nonplussed.
the way to work. Like, I had to deal with 2 on the way to the studio, and I only live 3 blocks away. So this massive maw reaches up, snaps out. It's going to do 6 points of piercing damage to Arden, and then grab onto his leg as the weight of Gobblegut yanks the both of them down into the pool. You are grabbed, and once again, you are yeeted into the water. But that is
Seems to be my lot in life.
his 3 actions. He's got a hold of her or him. I keep defaulting the resume. Ref.
Howdy, Gaedren. You might want to drop the crossbow. And cover fire, shoot him anyways. Non-lethal. I'm going to aim for arm, leg, anything, but he does get to choose if he wants to take cover, which in this case would be dropping prone.
And as you come out of this corner with a huge freaking gun, he's absolutely going to drop prone to this. As
So,
you
I take...
look a freaking arquebus
Yeah.
around the corner.
So he has standard cover against this shot, but in return, until my next turn, he has a -1 to all ranged attacks.
All right. And as he drops, he is going to drop with a surprising speed, nimbly dodging out of the way as well. Actually, that doesn't stack with cover, so I guess him dropping is already the cover.
17.
17, that bullet is going to go over him and thud into the wood beams of the wall behind him. He goes, "Who the hell is this and who brings a cannon to a fishery?
That would be rough.
What kind of sable company acolyte are you? What do they teach them these days?"
I ain't a sable company, but you better stay down. Intimidate. 13.
13, he is not afraid of you. He's kind of afraid of the gun, but not so much afraid of you here.
Covered reload.
And, yeah, I guess you had the gun out while you were coming out of the door. You knew you were getting at the stuff. So, John.
Mr. Stable Company, I think Zawata is your Collins. You can help Arden.
Hey, there's a crocodile down there. Have fun.
All of you feel free to just cast yourselves in and save me the trouble.
For what it's worth, y'all, you might just want to rush him.
I drop the spear and 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 and move all the way over to this side.
He's like prone on the ground.
On the ground. Actually, I just step on him as I'm going. And I pull out a staff. Just man of many weapons. Now then, Mr. Gaedren, you just do us all a favor and stay down there.
You would raise your arms against an old man when you're the ones breaking into his very home.
I'd raise my arms against a thief.
I'd raise mine against
And a kidnapper.
fool.
And a kidnapper.
And a shiver merchant.
And a murderer, basically. You're a murderer.
Oh, yeah, he didn't kill any of our people, but yeah, he is a murderer.
He's a murderer.
He definitely kills people.
He's not a good man.
Oh, I am up. Oh, okay, sorry.
Go ahead, Darren.
Ooh, Arden's in the water.
Also in Gobblegut's mouth.
Come on, Mr. Marine. Jump in the water.
All right. Put the crossbow down. Dive in the water.
You diving?
Sorry, jumping in the water.
Okay, I'm like
Diving.
No,
Water's
there's
3
no
feet
diving
deep.
sign. The one ocean.
You jump in the water, and you hit and feel your feet hit solid ground. This is about chest deep. Where you are
okay.
right now. So it's greater difficult terrain, but you don't need to swim.
Perfect.
It is really not a whole lot more. Like Gobblegut is a fat frickin' crocodile. So he's got room to be concealed under here. Probably like twice as much as he needs, but there's not a ton more than that. You can stand in this water.
Okay. Hunt prey the crocodile and stab him with a knife to try to convince him to let go of Arden.
Parrying dagger. Piercing. Oh, you don't have no penalties anyway because underwater.
Underwater murder, yeah. Although that's 4 on the die, so that's a 10.
Well, you stab towards the crocodile and learn that crocodiles are a lot harder than you thought they were.
I never stabbed a crocodile
Yeah,
before.
your blade kind of like scravels
He's just a
across
kid.
his spine. Arden, it's just your life now. Apparently, is just giant monsters pulling you into the water angrily.
I was expecting this beating.
I think this is the avalanche.
You're my friend now. Ow.
Look, he loves me, guys.
Give me kiss.
So Mr. Crocodile, let's talk. I don't think you actually want to eat me. He's the one that's always stabbing you. I just want to give you food.
And you can see, in the water with him, there's a lot of thrashing around, but he's clearly very scarred along his back. This is not the first or the 10th time that Gaedren seems to have used this method of provocation for Gobblegut.
I just want to give you food.
I want to give you guys hero point cards. Jaded Tempest's got one for Darren. Don't be Crocagator food, please. And Lubic has one for Jen, because I don't know the PC's name.
Oh, this is actually probably appropriate.
Funneling points.
Endure the onslaught.
That is what we're trying to do, yes.
May fire temper you and your blades harden your resolve. May fire temper you and your blades harden your resolve. It's a Kelid proverb, so Kelid grammar is clearly different.
They're Kellids the barbarians.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, okay.
This is super timely. Press on. Just shake it off.
Just shake it off. Forehead.
Play at the start of your turn. Until the end of your turn, ignore penalties to checks and DCs from conditions, like being grabbed.
Give me that right back. Perfect.
Whoa.
Well, there you go.
No penalty for being grabbed.
You're grabbing me. Have this card. I'm leaving.
No.
No, you. Uno reverse.
Counterspell.
You've activated my trap card.
So first things first, we're gonna try one more attempt at diplomacy.
This, maybe a perception check. I'll just give you this out of the kindness of my heart.
He's not up for it.
He's enraged. He is
Okay, got it.
blind pain rage attacking. He
Then-
is not reasonable. It can be reasonable right now.
I am going to try to roll out of his mouth by kind of loosening all my muscles, and then once it gives, I'm gonna swim as hard as I can.
We got a ragdoll in the crocodile's mouth.
Yep.
All right, go for it. The
Duck
toddler
roll.
strat.
Trying to Gmod glitch our way out.
That's a nat 20.
What?
It works. It just works.
She goes limp in his mouth, and somehow, still just enraged, Gobblegut opens his mouth again to hiss towards Darren. And she just sort of noodles her way out. You're out of the grab. Congratulations, you did it.
And I'm going to try to pull myself up out of this pit.
All right, give me an athletics check.
This is sad time.
You got this. Just roll another 20.
Yeah, just roll another
Just roll
20.
20s, forehead.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
That was almost an 18, but it's a 4.
What's
Four.
the 20?
4 is definitely not going to do it. You possibly at this point have not realized you can even stand in your flailing panic, like instinctively trying to kick yourself and grab the pilings here. And it's just kind of an embarrassing show, really. Arden's not good at this.
Third action. Arden is actually going to go as still as he possibly can in the water by the wall.
I thought you were going to say limp
They
again.
see movement.
Notably, you are like in the water under this. Like you can go under the floor.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's literally going to go
You can go back
down.
to the turtle.
No, but what he is going to do is go down and then grab onto the top of the floorboard to try, and then go still to try to make the thing's attention
The top
go
of the
away.
floorboards are a little too far away for you to easily grab from down here.
Okay.
That's why you gotta make a climb check to get out.
I'm going to try to swim as much that way as I possibly can.
Athletics check.
Not survival?
To swim?
Yes.
Is athletics.
Oh, I thought swim was survival.
Swim
That's
and
my
climb are
bad.
both athletics.
Survival would be to find food under the water.
I hate you.
Crocodiles have meat. You
I
can
was
eat
gonna
them.
say.
That's an 11.
So 11 would let you move. I think you could swim 10 feet
Yep.
wherever it is, whatever direction
It's
you
like
want to
half
go
your
here.
speed.
Where you want to go? Just
That way, yeah.
that way?
Yeah.
Back out towards Wrath on the outside
Yes.
here, towards the gunfire.
Yes.
Floblin.
The sound of safety.
Well, I'm gonna move about 20 feet closer since the smoke is a little hazy even for me. And then Floblin's gonna do what he does best. Dagon, produce flame.
You don't want him dead.
Out of the smoke, you see a tiny, tiny fireball go. That's going to be a 19 altogether. I'm sorry, 20.
21.
And that'll be 1d4. Plus,
Plus 4, probably.
Your caster
It's
modifier.
past your,
Yeah, I'm sure
past your
it's plus
charisma
4.
mod.
actually plus 5 can just
Burn it.
Burn.
Plus 5,
Yep.
all right?
Yep.
Yep. That is max damage, so that'll be 9 altogether.
All right, solid fireball. You moved up and through that. Solid fireball hitting Gaedren as he's on the ground here.
I was incorrect. He has a -2 to range
Okay.
attacks.
He is going to somewhat surprisingly deftly scramble to his feet in front of John here.
Attack of opportunity.
And he's going to attempt to dodge as he goes. Oh, I guess he's still prone, so Nibble Dodge still doesn't do anything. I guess it would even it rather, because he doesn't have cover.
Total of a 17.
17. With his quick dodge, he will just deftly get out of the way of your spear here and take a step back out towards the eastern wall as well. Just put a little space between the two of you before he raises the crossbow and just takes a quick retreating shot at John. And hearing the crocodile rampaging and not really looking over there, is it worth it for a ring? Throwing your life away like this? Bam. 23.
It hits.
And he is pretty accurate with this bow. I mean, you can tell he is a lifetime of trained shot with this. You are going to take 7 points of piercing damage from the bolt, and then gobble gut.
That was a hit. All right.
There's a Darren in the water.
Endure the onslaught. I have resistance 5 to all damage.
That's probably good.
That probably will come in very handy.
That's probably great on account of the crocodile.
Yeah, that's about to come bite me.
So you readying yourself for this attack, already hissing your direction, he kind of turns his head sideways and just shoots his body forward through the water.
Not flat-footed.
Not flat-footed is good. For a 15 to hit.
Get out of the way.
You get out of the way, and he just misses this entirely, and then, without missing a beat, snaps his jaws and opens them and just snaps again. Hungry, hungry hippos school of fighting here. 3 higher and 5 lower is going to be less than that. And as you dodge the bulk of this thing twice, its massive, meaty tail just comes swinging wide like a huge paddle towards you.
Oh, that's a lot of muscle.
-8 because it's agile 16.
16, actually, it's going to clunk into his guard and stagger him a bit, but not do any damage.
You endured.
I endured the onslaught.
Onslaught endured. Well played.
Well played. Well played.
You're wrestling a crocodile in 4-foot deep water. Reth.
Peeking back around the corner. Now, Gaedren, I told you once, and I'm going to tell you again. Put it down. Cover fire. He can drop prone, or I get a bonus to attack.
Now that he's getting attacked by John here, he is just gonna, roll the dice on this one. He's getting
right.
closed in on. The ground's not the play.
Well, I get a +1. And that is a 15, 25.
25 will hit. You're catching a bullet.
Catching a bullet, and this one's not non-lethal. For 6 damage.
Okay, good shot.
So, I'll shoot him again. I'll cover, reload, and shoot him again.
-5.
Yep.
That is crazy. You can shoot a friggin' archivist twice in a
Yep.
turn at level 1.
So
Well, it's different from first edition. when
Lever
you-
action archivist.
Gaedren, this ain't gonna go good for you. Just surrender. And that one will go wide. Loading such a large gun that quickly does not give you a lot of time to bring it back down and get on target.
Spamming bullets a little aggressively here. John?
All right, then I guess
a spear, right?
I dropped it and pulled out a sap.
Oh, you have the sap, right?
Yep. So I'm going to just attempt to grab Gaedren. Gonna grapple the man.
Grab this old man.
For a 17 on the die, so that's a total of a 24.
24 definitely succeeds. You will grab a hold of his quilted vest here.
I'm
Or-
gonna grab his arm and twist it behind him and face him towards Floblin and where I know Reth is, and take the sap and just kind of right here in the middle of the chest. Gonna ready up to aid another, just keep him facing them.
Okay, is ready what?
Aid other. I'm aiding
ready
another.
Aid another for an attack. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Darren, in the pool with Gobblegut.
All right, so the thing missed me, but I don't want to go. I don't want to take this for granted. So Darren's going to make a quick slash out with his dagger. Come on, eyes on me, you big lizard. For a natural 1. His heart's not really into it because what he really wants to do is scramble back up onto the dock.
Athletics.
That's going to be a 24.
24 will succeed. You're able to pretty deftly kick yourself up out of the water here, get enough of a grip to shoot that last foot or so and get a hold of the boards up top. You will need to mantle up. You got quick mantle.
I'm gonna need to mantle up.
Your third action is going to be pulling yourself up onto the pier.
Oh,
It turns
boy.
out in situations where we're fighting a bunch of crap like this, it actually kind of comes up to you.
It does. But shouting at the crocodile. Come on, eyes on me.
Arden, under the
crocodile.
Pier.
building somewhere near the pier, still paddling in the water here.
Since this is just a dock, can I swim under Gaedren?
I mean, yeah, you can swim under that way.
I'm going to. I'm going to swim that
Maybe an
way.
athletics check. You would need 3 successful swim checks to get all the way to Gaedren, if that's what you're trying to do.
I do.
The distance
You get
wise.
10 feet per swim. Gotta believe.
That's a 14.
That'll succeed. So you get 10 feet that way. Paddle, paddle,
Roll a
paddle.
critical.
Paddle, paddle, paddle.
You know you can stand in the water.
That doesn't really help, does it?
That'd be greater difficult terrain, so honestly, not really.
That's
It
hilarious.
actually
You'd be
doesn't.
moving about the same, but you would have to make a
You
check.
don't have to roll. But like hearing that, you could stand up. And like,
Rolling is better because if you get a critical, you move
that's
farther.
actually well, but if you fail, you don't move. So
It's a trade-off.
that's
It's
6.5
a-
times.
I'd
You can
s-
definitely move
She's not
10
rolling
feet, or
for
you
it.
can
I'd still rather-
maybe move 20 feet.
I'm going to move 10 feet.
Okay. So hearing this, you stand up and stride through the deep water. I can. Well, there's one action left, and then you're.
I'm going to move the last 10 feet.
Okay, so you're like at the corner of the fishery, basically? The corner of this building?
Yeah.
Right below him?
Right below him.
Okay. I'm really curious the plan is here. Floblin. Not like you can
As-
see him or anything.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I could sort of see him, but
No,
I mean,
Arden
Arden,
can't see him.
Arden can't
Oh,
see him. Arden's
okay.
just under a building in the
You can
dark.
see him.
oh, I thought you were
Like,
talking about somebody. Yeah, so I'm seeing John, going, go for it, go for it. Floblin's like, much obliged. And once again, Dakan, produce fire.
Roll that.
Old man roasting simulator. You're going to get an aid from.
29 total.
Ooh, succeeds. So you get +2 from your stuff? Do you have a bonus to the aid bonus?
Do not have a bonus. It's regular whatever.
Oh, okay.
It
I
is.
thought you
If
had
it
something.
critically
Oh, you have a
succeed.
bonus. You have a +4 to
I
the
have a
thing.
+4 to
So
the
you get a
thing.
+1 to your attack roll from John's assistance,
All right,
and
so-
Gaedren's flat-footed.
So that's going to be a total of 16.
It's 1 off with the flat-footed.
Sad.
Just barely gonna miss this
Well,
Gaedren's
for my,
twisting in the grip
for my
here.
last action, catch, shield.
Pink.
Even I have concealment and a shield. Ooh.
Gaedren has the crossbow in his hand here, unloaded at this point, and you're concealed. He's just going to fling the crossbow out at Floblin, just pitching it your direction.
Ranged. Oh, I'll use my reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This turn?
Yeah, as
To
to
aid.
aid.
To aid, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair. I forgot aiding is your reaction. So it's going to be concealment. It's regular concealment. So is
Yep.
it 5?
You haven't used it yet, but you set it up as a reaction.
I used it.
He
with
used
flaw.
it to
Reaction is
aid.
using it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you did just use it.
So
No,
it's gonna be a 2 on the concealment check. So this is just gonna fly through the smoke and kind of clatter across the pier next to you. He's gonna reach out with his other hand. I guess you have his other hand. This is gonna reach across his hip, pull out a knife, and just thrust it into John. Wow, that was impressive. I rolled it up and it stayed on the edge of the dice tray. I
I'm
don't
proud
know.
of you.
That's pretty neat. 17 with the -4 from Agile.
That pig stick ain't gonna do nothing here.
You got real boy armor now. Dagger just kind of hits the breastplate, doesn't do nothing. Gobblegut is going to attempt to make the climb check to jump up at Darren because I mean he's mad and you're stabbing at him and you're there and he's mad. He is going to fail as he scrabbles at the side here. Doesn't quite launch himself up high enough.
Get. But eyes on me. But get.
And then is going to try it again with a second launch and get up high enough for these jaws to get within snapping range of Darren. It's going to be a 20 to hit you.
That'll catch me.
However, he does not have enough momentum and enough traction here to grab onto you because it took him 2 tries to get up the side.
You ever
So he
notice
cannot grab.
how much launch and lunge sound like each other?
Does he fall back?
He does fall back down.
Okay.
You're going to take 13 points of piercing damage.
Oh my god.
Why is
Boy.
that? Endure it was worth it.
Gobblegut's teeth rake
Rake.
across you as he falls back down into the pond, ready to launch himself up, trying to scrabble for this
Oh
again.
no. Oh no.
Crocodile spot. Breath.
It's good training.
I think I'm wet. I think it's water. It's probably water.
It was
blood.
not
It
water.
does not feel like water.
Very sticky water.
Can I see the crocodile, or do I need to move in?
You would need to come in probably because like he's down far enough. It's like 8-foot ledge that you can't see him from outside, I don't think.
Fair enough. I'm going to deal with the immediate problem that I can see then.
Lamb.
Lamb. How's Lamb looking? Probably not too injured.
He's looking fairly injured. He's taken a couple of hits now. He's gotten hit with some produce flames. He's gotten stabbed by John. He's taken a bit. But he is a surprisingly hardy old man.
I actually haven't hit him.
Have you not hit him? Because the produce flame.
I shot him.
I got 3 hits on him, but
Yeah.
anyway, he's looking a bit hurt, but a surprisingly resilient old man. He is not going down as easy as you might have hoped.
Okay. Same thing as before. Cover fire. Reload first.
You can only shoot once this time.
Yeah, so reload and cover fire. So I assume he's just going to give me the bonus.
Staying up at this point.
Still grabbed.
He's definitely going to nimble dodge this gunshot. He doesn't want to get hit with the bullet
a
again.
23.
Nimble dodge not going to stop the gunshot, and that is absolutely going to hit him.
For 4 damage.
Alrighty.
And then covered reload.
Bring us back around to John.
All
So
right.
you still have a hold of him because he didn't break away. I don't think this comes up very often because usually people try to get out or die. You are still holding him until the end of your turn if you don't take another action to continue grabbing him.
Yes, this is fair. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue to grab him first, because I don't want him going anywhere. A 16 on the die, so a total of a 21.
21 definitely.
Or, yeah, 23, whatever. the
Definitely
number is,
grabs
plus
on.
7,
Okay.
yeah.
Definitely not going to crit, definitely going to succeed.
Yes, and then we're just going to take the sap and knock him in the back of the head with it.
Bonk.
Bonk. Sap's agile?
That doesn't sound agile.
I don't know anymore.
Sounds like a sap.
I don't have sap in my stack of
Yes,
things.
they're agile.
Okay, cool.
It's just a little stick.
Little stick.
Yeah.
You just give him a bonk.
Thought it was like a rock and a leather sock,
Yeah,
basically.
there's a few different things.
That's confusing.
It could be a lead
13
pipe with cloth
plus
around
9
it so it
minus
doesn't
the
hit you as
4.
hard.
13 plus 5, so 18.
18.
Flat-footed.
And he's still grabbed. That'll hit him.
Coolio.
He uses nimble dodge on the bullet.
1d6 plus 4
Bonk.
for a total of a 9, non-lethal, because it is a sap.
Wow.
All right, and that's a solid hit there. And as you crack him with that, he kind of staggers a bit and stumbles, and it's almost just you hanging on to him that keeps him up there. But he sort of grits his teeth, doesn't say anything.
Do you want to give up yet?
He's
No?
definitely still ready in for some
Alright.
stabbing.
Just once again, just kind of position him for my friends to hit, because that is going to be much smarter for me.
He's just like,
You need 2 to set
I'm
up
good
an
to
eight, right? Can you set
go.
up an 8 as one?
It's one action.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, really? 8
Yes,
is only one
8
action?
is one
Darren.
action.
Nice.
Wow, cool. Darren is going to. Am I in reach of the crocodile? He fell back down. He's going to have to. I'm safe where I am right now, right?
Safe is a strong word, but yes.
Yeah, okay.
He did fall back down.
Darren's going to dip his hand into his healer's kit and pull out sort of a paste and smear it over his wounds real quick, both to kind of keep it clean and to stop the bleeding. That's a battle medicine check.
Battle medicine.
Battle medicine.
Ooh,
Look
been
at
a
this
minute
man
since we've
came
seen this.
prepared.
Well, about to find out.
Yeah, but Marshall does it all the time. It's just
See,
a potato.
I wasn't referencing the book, so I wasn't sure how to smear, if it was up to the back or if it's down. So I did not get the 15 that I needed. That's a 13.
It helps if you actually get it on the wounds.
Did-
I'm not listening to you.
Did not critically fail.
Did not
so
critically
you got
fail.
that going for you, which is nice. Don't make it worse.
It's just salt.
Ew.
No,
Salt
he-
all over the
The
wounds.
wounds on this, the wounds on this side, he smeared on the other side.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
He was thinking the right over left, the left over right, and did the entire wrong side.
Terrible.
2 actions left.
I blinded myself with one eye with it. That didn't work.
Oh, it's not so bad. You still have one left.
All right, you ain't looking too good. You might want to come back out here on the pier.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I'm going to scoop the crossbow off the dock, and I'll take the rest
Make me an
advice.
acrobatics check. Moving through that door in combat quickly is kind of difficult. It's very small and awkward.
Yeah, that's awkward. All right, that's an 8.
Yeah, you're kind of at the door, and you can't quickly squeeze yourself through.
See, the one eye has paste in it, and I
The
actually
only person
coughed
who's
my
come through
forehead.
at mid-combat is Flavlin, who is small
Ah.
and can just walk through the door.
Is it left foot over the threshold?
See, I've
first
been
or
using
right
it
foot
as
over the
cover.
threshold first?
I know it's small. I'm taking advantage of it.
I put forehead into it first, so that's the problem.
Arden.
That's the one eye you could.
You just bonk yourself
Yeah.
on the edge of it. Arden,
So
doing something.
Arden knows that he's right above him.
I don't think that's accurate, but okay.
What do you mean? I swam that way.
Yeah, but you have no idea where he is. You're in the dark under the pier. You can hear fighting vaguely coming through the hole. There's some creaking of the boards above you.
I'm gonna try to move out so I can see who's up there. Because there's
Into the pit with the crocodile?
no, the other way.
There's a wall there.
Oh, there's a wall
It's a
there.
room.
Yeah. This has 4
This is a
walls,
room.
a hole cut in the center, and window-looking
Oh,
things.
so the walls go down through
the
the
pit.
water.
Yeah,
So
I
the crocodile
was
doesn't
not
get out.
aware of that.
No.
I thought they were just
But there's
pylons.
walls. Like, how are you going to see him from
You
outside?
cannot see his
You
can't
exact
see
position.
through the
I didn't
walls.
want to see his exact position. I wanted to swim out that way because
Oh,
I
you
can
can-
see water, just pure water that way, right?
Yeah? You're going to need to swim to do that.
Wait,
'cause if you're going to
no.
go out past
Yeah, that's
this,
what I mean.
There's no wall down here. You could swim out at any point.
That is what I meant.
So maybe make me an athletics check, because that is going to get deep enough you have to start swimming once you leave underneath the building.
8.
It's an 8.
8.
Okay. You kind of paddling, orienting yourself around, don't really go anywhere.
Doggy
You
paddle.
try it again, though.
Try it again.
It's doggy paddling.
I'm really curious of the plan. I just want to know what the plan is.
There is no plan.
The plan was to get away from that.
That's fair. The plan's to get away from the alligator and go for a nice swim.
That is
10.
a
10 is the DC to swim in calm water, so you get 10 feet out into the water here.
Swims like a stone druid.
Accurate. You swim like
At
Floblin.
this point,
You
you'd
have
be
one
better off
action
going
left.
over, climbing up, going all the way through the inside and back around.
At this point, can I try to pull myself back over again?
What?
You're not at the dock yet.
Just
It's another
in the
10
water.
feet away.
I'm gonna try to swim back toward the dock.
Make an athletics check.
Jeez, dude.
12.
Progress.
Yay, progress.
Just watch
3
out.
more athletics checks and you'll be out of the water.
Watch out for the angry alligator or the angry turtle.
Yeah.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's gonna be
Floblin.
fine.
Well, when in doubt, if it works, do it
just
again.
disappear underwater.
Card. Fire. Produce flame once again.
All right, Aid.
Whoosh. Just like, hey, Floblin, here you go.
That's a total of a 17.
So not going to aid on that one, unfortunately, but not making it worse.
That is going to be
He uses them.
my 22.
22 hits!
That's what we're aiming for.
Floblin, as you hit him with this fireball, what happens to him?
It was max damage too again, so. So Floblin, as he's like, lighting it up in his, hand, like, this is for the years of torment. And he throws it as hard as he can. You see it like pierce almost the smoke that's concealing him. And it just catches him right in the chest, igniting his fancy coat and like parts of his hair.
He kind of blursts, gets one last little cry out, of all people! How is it Floblin?
Well, I let that happen. Actually, see, it's kind of like divine retribution.
I mean, I am a divine.
And like, without the strength to keep fighting, kind of like raises the dagger to sort of swing it at you and just collapses in your grip. Just folds, smoldering and smoking.
Alright, then. I don't think the crocodiles are issues on there.
You got an action left, Floblin.
You do have an action left.
Did I do it? Well, we still got that thing to deal with. Touch. Shield again. Just in case.
It's in my arm.
Gobblegut.
I just died.
Gobblegut mad.
You okay? You right?
Gobblegut gonna give another big old jump up here, trying to get it Darren. Climb check for the crocodilian.
I did not get out of the doorway.
You didn't, no. He's gonna succeed at his climb check.
Oh boy.
Hello there.
Oh no.
He's
Hi.
gonna give you the snappies for a 20.
Oh god. Yeah, that'll get me.
You see Darren come up and try to come through, and then Gobblegut just yoink, grab it, and both of them disappear over the side.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
As he yanks Darren back down into the water. How much health you got?
Pretty sure that's his bonus to damage. So.
I rolled a 1,
Yeah, that's helpful.
so you only take 5.
Hey! So
You-
Darren does not come back up.
You see Darren disappear into the water with Gobblegut, who
You killed
Start-
the child.
rolling. Oh no! It happened! The prophecy.
Wow.
It's true. no!
It happened.
You see the water splash and roil as Gobblegut starts rolling over in the depths with Darren's seemingly limp body just kind of flopping in his mouth. You dying one. Wrath.
I'm gonna step into
You made it
the
to
room.
session 2. What a champion. Acrobatics check.
Yep. 13.
13, it's going to cost you 2 actions to get to the door.
That's all I need.
Yeah, so you get in with 1 action left.
Bang.
Which is what happened to you. You just have 2 actions to spare.
Yeah.
Shoot Gobblegut.
Cover fire.
He
So all
is
that
not
range-
going to drop for cover.
All that range attacks he's going to be doing?
Well, it gives me a +1 if they don't take cover. So it's an option I can choose. Just I get a bonus.
That's fair.
That will be a 22.
22 will hit Gobblegut.
That'll be 5 damage.
Rolls make you save.
When I crit something,
They will not make me
they
save
will
anymore.
die.
This bullet hits, and you all see him shoot into the water. Gobblegut's still kind of twisting here. Arden outside paddling.
Oh no.
He's a shape in the water.
My old friend.
Was kind of interested in the untrained flailing that is going on outside. It's going to be his 3 actions. But your old friend, the grave shell, is going to come back up. You
Slip
see
down my
these
fingers.
spikes just sliding through the water, kind of tromping as this grave shell makes his way up next to you.
Oh, God. Okay.
John,
Hello there.
I don't see that. I see Arden go down.
you see Darren go down, yeah?
Darren go down. Drop the corpse.
You're seeing the future.
The smoldering. Pull out the scythe. Action to draw my scythe. I'm gonna take a running leap at the crocodile. I'm gonna jump down and I'm gonna leap from there to get next to it and just bring the whole weight of the scythe down on top of him.
Absolute champion. Okay, so draw on your scythe,
Action.
and a leap is 2, long jump is 2 action.
Yep.
So that'd be 3. Make me an acrobatics check to convince me to give you an attack at the end of this. For your cool
Acrobatics.
jumping, plunging, scything attack.
He's Dark Souls bossing it.
That's inspire me with your dice.
Do it.
Can I bribe you? can I bribe you?
No.
Okay.
What'd you get?
7 total.
So you splash.
That's a lucky number.
You splash down to the water next to Gobblegut, but out of actions to immediately do anything with him. Darren's down here, so Arden.
Oh boy.
Friend's back.
So can Arden see the crocodile or?
Yeah, from where you're at the surface of the water, you can see like the splashing and rolling a little ways in the distance where the light is. So you could definitely, probably even see him almost better than the grave shell that's right next to you.
Can the grave shell get under the dock, or is the dock too? In other words, he might be
Not
too-
easily.
He can't get under the dock, right?
Not easily, no.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swim back toward the dock, toward the
Back
crocodile.
to the crocodile, lads! Make me an athletics check.
I get the feeling there was a plan here, but it changed like 3 times.
The plan is
I
survive.
love the adventures of Arden out here on the outskirts.
It's more like the roles changed Arden's plan many times.
Make me an athletics check. Please, you probably want to succeed. It's probably important that you succeed at least once or twice in this string here.
Succeed or die.
19.
19 succeeds, so you can move 10 feet. You can get just in the lip. It's not like out of the way. He could reach you, but you're where you can stand. So from there, you can create a difficult terrain and move 10 feet. somewhere.
I'm going to move 10 feet
Which way? This way?
toward that way. Yeah.
That way?
Along the edge?
No, I want to come out, but I want to come out this way.
Against the
Next to the
crocodile.
crocodile?
You're in a danger zone. right
Everything that way is bad.
Just want to head straight west.
There's
Straight
nowhere.
west.
That direction that is good.
Behind me.
Behind
Okay, I'm behind you. Okay,
Behind
good.
me.
Yes.
Everything else is I'm trying to kill myself.
There's angry green aquatic creatures everywhere that direction.
You have to keep in mind that I'm short and I cannot see
fair.
that screen very well.
you go.
There you go. Thank you.
Wobbling.
Wait, I have one more action yet.
You have one more action. Sorry, you have one left.
And can I see that Darren is down?
Yeah?
You see a lot of blood.
You see him getting tossed. There's a lot of blood in the water. Unclear whose it is. Probably his. This crocodile is just rolling with his limp body.
No, that's two. I'm going to stay where I am and pretend that I don't exist.
Please don't eat me. Okay, Flop, let's be serious.
So can I see him from where I'm at?
Yes.
All
You're
right.
at the edge of the pool, so you can see down into it.
Oh, that's going down for me. I see my new buddy, struggling for his life, literally.
Not really anymore.
He's- the flame in his hair kind of ignites and turns white and goes, Mach! He's going to do a 2-action heal to get him back up.
D8 plus 8 on Darren. This is going to be the most unpleasant awakening. You are waking up into a crocodile death rolling.
You get 10 more health back.
That's the most unpleasant revival I think has ever happened at this table. You're conscious, though.
You're a pair of
technically.
pants in the washing machine.
And as I'm doing this, I'm screaming, get back up! Get back up! Run! Touch shield again. For my last action.
All right, Darren. You know what we call that? Conscious.
Conscious.
And we are alive.
And we are alive.
Wounded one.
Wounded one. Yes, indeed. Floating in the water. Actually being held.
Floating's a strong word.
Yeah.
Positivity. Floating's positivity.
Floating positive. So I'm grabbed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He did not let go of you when you went unconscious. The opposite, if anything.
Is he still my hunted prey?
Yeah, I don't see why. I don't think that goes away when you.
It doesn't
don't
change
unconscious.
until you change it yourself.
Yeah, you have to override it.
All right.
Nice.
So this is going to be kind of freak out in a death roll, blind panic. Training's going to kick over and he's going to kind of lock his breath down and just stab the heck out of this thing to try to go and make him let go.
Training, swing wildly.
Stab
Let
repeatedly.
go of me.
Why don't animals like me?
Worst druid.
That's a 10. Switching dice.
Level 1.
I could
Yep.
offer you the cursed dice.
Get your devil's bargain away from me. Nat 20.
I bring the die with this. I
Bam!
immediately.
Second hit'll stab him.
All right. This is with a knife with maximum damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Spicy.
Okay, so that's
He's got
30.
That's his maximum health.
So Darren comes awake, reaches in, sees this one gator eye staring at him, and just jams that knife all the way down,
Wow.
twists it, cranks it, and the crocodile goes limp, gets his feet under him, stands up, and lifts the dagger.
As
This is the
crocodile
level 1est
goes
encounter.
limp, rolling, flipping here, ending up on his back. You see Gobblegut there, belly up for a moment as he sinks down into the water. The grave shell outside, knowing he can't fit in here, also probably knowing this is Gobblegut's stand and he doesn't want any of that, does not pursue any further. And whatever he's up to, it is off out there. For now, the room falls quiet.
So now that is dealt with,
He has 30 health, is the Gobblegut's maximum health.
Wow.
All right,
dude.
Sin.
I'm gonna go see if Gaedren can be not deaded. And assumedly, I'll walk over and see he is very dead.
I was about to say he's fried too crisp there.
He's definitely extra crispy at this point.
Actually,
Rev, are you up there?
Yeah.
Can you throw down a rope?
Darren,
Yeah.
Darren, you okay?
We're gonna get Darren out of here.
I
And then-
feel awful.
Yes,
but-
yes.
you're right.
I killed that crocodile.
You did so
You
good.
did a good job.
You did great.
Oh my god.
All right, let's get you out of the water.
At this point, Floppin's gonna go over to Lamb's
believe-
corpse.
I thought I was dead.
do
Believe.
a ritual dance to Labaiko as the victory.
It's the rock.
Reth throws. I asked Reth to throw down a rope to get Darren out of the water first.
I have a mini rope.
Yeah, with a rope and the assistance now with no immediate
And
threat,
me
it's going to
lifting
be
him up.
no real difficulty to get the rest of you out.
Trembling
of
from
here.
the adrenaline.
That's a hell of a level 1 moment right there.
Get you patched up, Darren.
Feast and famine.
He's finally gone. We did it. He's finally.
Well, I needed him alive.
But
That's the issue here.
Why did you kill him? Now I'll never find out where Colin is.
He got what he deserved.
No, well, yes, but I'd much rather him jailed than, rotting in a shell for years and years and years.
But now
These days.
You weren't
Lamb
one of
was-
his lambs.
Oh, Lamb got killed.
Yes. Yes, Floblin killed them.
Under the bus.
I guess that makes sense.
Yes.
But
I tried to knock some out, but that didn't help any. So,
That makes sense, actually. He didn't even know your nephew's name.
But he.
There's
Of
problem-
course, he didn't know his name, but he left with him.
sit down. Where's that book of yours?
What?
Where's that book of healing
yes,
for you?
Yes. It's a little wet. It's okay. It doesn't run. The ink doesn't run.
Arden doesn't care about any of that. Arden's going over to his
Yes.
body and is going to start looking for whatever he had.
If you find any things on my ring, please let me know.
I could not care less about your ring.
And I could not care less about your nephew, but here we are.
It's his nephew.
Well, it doesn't mean that he necessarily has to care about the nephew. He should. He doesn't have
This
to.
isn't really the best argument to go start
not a good
arguing
argument.
I can tell
equivalence
you
here.
from personal experience, he
Well,
does
I'm-
not
I'm
give two
personally-
licks at all about any of his lambs. At all.
I personally, he's brought to justice. I'm happy on my end, but I'm glad to help you find your nephew.
Thank you. You're a very good man.
He'll look if it makes sense. If the nephew went out to work with another gang, they'll probably be coming back here. If we stick around, they might show
Stop
back up.
moving, that's all.
I'm just.
You're
Look
You're-
at me.
I should put the dagger down.
you're a good man, Wrath.
Well, thank you. Would you like a little help with that?
I'll take any help I can get.
He's over
Honestly,
here just bandaging. This doesn't make any sense.
he doesn't know his left from his right though, so be careful when
This
he
is
gives
my
you
left.
instructions.
This is my right.
You have to make the L.
Your book
Well.
doesn't make any sense.
All right, hold still.
Are you medicing him?
Battle medicine.
Battle medicine. I'm gonna
Are you gonna aid?
aid. I'm aiding. Always aiding.
Sure.
Ready aid.
I feel like neither of
Well,
you should aid.
20.
I guess in all
Alright, so I
the
got
end,
plus
I
two.
suppose
Plus one.
Plus one.
Oh,
it's a
okay.
full 20.
Yeah,
It's
no
a
bonus to boost, bonus to his
Yep.
roll.
I was just going to say,
So, 14.
Doesn't quite help. Make you hurt a little bit less, clean some of the blood up for sure.
Just get move.
What?
But
Can I treat wounds myself?
you can treat
Yeah,
me
but
yourself.
have you been treated before? No,
No.
it was John that got treated.
I got it was
before.
me.
You
It's
could, you
battle
can do it
medicines.
around now if you have
Yeah.
you have 10 minutes.
Here,
It
can you
seems-
just hold
Yes.
that? Put your finger on that knot. Thank you.
Holding the book in the other
Well,
hand.
as John and Darren are doing that, you have this whole chamber here. What of the rest of you?
well, after I finish my ritualistic victory dance for Labaiko, I look at the others, I see the damage, I see what's going on, and I'm like, y'all helped me with the revenge and whatnot for the mistreatment of many, many years of torture. So the least I can do is help you folks, find your nephew and, find your missing ring and, whatever else you need done. But unfortunately, I can't do more healing until I take a nice long nap. So I'm just gonna meditate in the corner and get me when you're ready. I'm just gonna sit there and refocus.
You were his slave. You get a pass.
You're a good sort, Floblin. You know that.
I try.
I get it. You should be angry. If I could have killed the men who took me from my family, I would have. Maybe.
Remember that acid you found earlier? He lifts up his tunic and you see a bunch of weird acid burns all over his torso. Yeah, trust me, I know.
I get it. I get it. I get it.
I'm going to be checking out that side room because not happy he's dead, but he's not a problem anymore. My sense of justice ain't happy, but I'm satisfied revenge was dealt.
Opening the door to this last chamber here, you would get into a kind of foul-smelling, what appears to be combination bedroom and study. There's a wooden bed frame with a real lumpy mattress against the eastern wall, a round table just inside the door, heaped with dirty plates, bread crusts, stained goblets. and plenty of visible cockroaches scuttering about, just kind of laying bare. It's a pretty big, yeah, it's a pretty big strong box at the foot of the bed, with a slightly rusted lock and a moldy ledger, pages deformed from moisture sitting atop the lid. There's a sagging dresser filled with what look like they may have once have been fine clothes, but at close appearance are starting to fray, and many places starting to be moth-eaten, really. And on top of that, it's a wooden hat box surrounded by a small, nearly cloud of flies and mites whirring around it. All very concentrated around the hat box on top of the dresser.
I'm looking through his body to see if I can find anything.
The man didn't really carry much on him personally. He would have the little dagger that he'd pulled out, the blade of which is toothed and notched almost like a key, come alongside the hand crossbow that he bore. Both of them are a little bit interesting, as into the handle of the hand crossbow and the base of the pommel of the hilt of this dagger, you can see the very subtle glow of magical runes that have been enhancing both of them. He has a pair of keys, a smaller brass one and a larger rusty iron one.
That's what I was looking for.
Pretty
That's what I was looking
degraded.
for.
But other than his armor, there's nothing else on him.
Grab the
Oh.
keys. Head into his room.
Come into his room to join Reth here. At this point, I'll go ahead and roll your medicine check shenanigans here. You can roll your aid.
It passes.
14
one.
plus 4 plus yeah.
Plus 4 plus 3, so yeah.
8 plus 6 plus 1. I get it.
2d8 health.
See, I'm good at helping.
You are good at helping.
I can read the book.
Just do what I tell you to do.
I'm reading the book. You didn't let me read the book last time.
I got 3 points of health
You
back.
see, I told you this book
But
sucks. This
wounded
book
goes
is bad.
away.
When it goes away.
That ring is very important.
And as you're doing that,
Rinsed it off.
Arden and Reth rooting around the bedchamber here. Arden comes in with a pair of keys, a small one and a large
Here.
one. With what you've seen here, it looks just almost visibly obvious that the large iron key probably fits to the lockbox at the foot of his bed. The little brass key, unsure. Maybe it was to the door of this chamber. Maybe to something else entirely.
Possibly something to do with the hat rack full of flies or something.
The
Or
hat box.
The hat box.
Yeah. Hat box doesn't appear to be locked. It's a hat box. It's just like a round shoe box.
It's the only other box I was aware of.
That's fair. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just saying it's not like
Yeah,
locked
so
or anything. It's
big
just like
key
a part of
into
it.
big box.
Opening up the footlocker reveals a series of small packages, each of which seem to be individually wrapped with a beige cloth and tied together with twine. There's all different shapes and sizes. Small rods, only a few inches long, a very tiny disc, much larger rectangular blocks. Their weights and hardness is random and spread as their shapes. So without opening the packages up, you gotta know it just looks like a pile of Christmas presents, basically. And I guess as far as the party's concerned, maybe it is. But assuming you start to open them as you go through them, you find a strange assortment of things. A teak cigar case inlaid with small jade accoutrements. The rectangle is a solid 2-pound gold ingot emblazoned with a Chelish coat of arms. There's a little miniature golden crown, maybe 2 inches across. A fist-sized scrimshaw carving out of dark wood of a kraken with small little garnets for eyes. A little silver ring with an inscription around its insides for Emma, the light in my nights. And finally, not finally, there's 3 more things. There is a very finely made dagger, actually, which is exceptionally well balanced, and its blade honed to an incredible edge. As well as an equally well made, tiny, 4-pointed star, about yay big around with a hole in the middle, rotationally symmetrical, a strange black iron object, but again, clearly very finely crafted. It is a masterwork shuriken. I don't think any of you would recognize what that is. Why it's in here? Question mark.
Lamb was a weeaboo.
And finally, 2 more things that are together. The only combined package in here. A very realistic, very high detailed, very scandalous ivory carving of 2 succubi intertwined together. It's in the book. I'm not making it up. You can't get mad at me. You wrote this. And
Hold on. I'm trained in religion.
As
for
am I.
what purpose?
Yeah, we need religion to understand the succubi carving. Okay.
To know what a succubi is.
I don't think you need to know what a succubi is.
It'd be funny.
You know,
You're
It's a demon, but hot.
I thought all demons were hot. They fire all the
Wow.
time.
Fire and
Devils.
brimstone.
There's a difference.
Yes, there's a very
The
huge
abyss
difference.
is cold.
I don't believe you.
And
I'm not trained in religion.
a small bejeweled brooch with a broken
Brooch.
clasp.
Please don't ever say that again.
Breach.
This brooch, it's definitely brooch, but it's not a brooch, it's a brooch.
It says it so in the book.
Yeah, it says it right here is brooch.
It has a
BROOCH.
pronunciation guide right
I'm writing
Yeah.
it with a U and an umlaut over
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
All right.
Looking through all of these, some of these are like jewels, some of them inlaid with jade, many of them finely crafted. They all appear to be a collection of relative valuables. But this brooch is far and away, to casual observation, clearly the most valuable. It is circular, what appears to be carved of full gold, with a very vivid depiction of a house drake circling around one half of it and an imp coiled around the other, almost in kind of a yin-yang pattern. The pseudo-dragon's eye is a small amethyst, the imp's an emerald, and it is set about with 6 different stones in its reach, all of them nearly half the size of a thumbnail, massive gemstones, all of them rounded and polished smooth. This thing is phenomenally valuable. This could be worth hundreds of gold by itself. That's, I believe. Are you trained in society, either of the two of you?
Crafting. I might be.
What is a society?
I have a solid no training +1.
So, okay, yeah, none of these stand out to you then for any like direct reason beyond they're made of valuable materials and look to be quite expensive. This seems to be Gaedren's personal little treasure hoard here.
Well, from in the room. Hey, John, what was the name of the... Did you have some kind of engravings on that ring of yours?
What kind of engraving is it?
It says something about
You would be done at this point. While they're
Yeah.
moving through all this, you two would be able to join them in this back room. Flabla and I assume would be coming as well.
Oh,
There's
wow.
something else
I finished doing
This
my
is available.
refocusing and meditation, so I figured I'd join them and see what's going on.
It says something about an Emma.
That ain't it.
Okay.
Ain't no Emma in my family's.
He's looking for a ring.
That's fair. Thank you for looking.
I guess we should probably turn
It's gonna
all of
walk out of the
this
room.
in.
I found a bunch of things.
It's all mostly pretty small. Like the gold ingot is the
There's a
biggest
few
one
of them.
Yeah, but there are quite a few, so you kind of got like an armful. And everyone's coming into the room with you here.
I just
very
meet him at the door
valuable.
like, oh,
Was
I got things.
What'd you find?
there was a? You
Stuff.
said there was a ledger in the room too, right?
There was a molding ledger, yes.
That is interesting. I'm gonna check out the ledger. Have you read it yet?
No. There's something. There's got to be something else. There's got to be something else that this key goes into. I'm gonna start check. Does the door? Does the key fit in the door?
I'm gonna
Try the lock on the front door.
check out the ledger.
That's what I'm
Oh,
trying.
the small brass key would fit to the door that led into this chamber, yes.
He'll throw it down like he doesn't care about it anymore and start tearing the room apart.
I mean, this ledger could have movements of items and of children.
Then you read it.
I'm reading it. Just give me a second. It's a little difficult. His handwriting sucks.
Well, I reckon as far as these items are concerned, we should at least check to see if they've been reported missing before we take them.
Yeah, I guess. That's yeah. No,
Somebody's
of
missing-
course we should. That's yeah.
Somebody's
absolutely.
missing a ring that's very important
That's
to them.
yes.
I'm thinking no one's going to be able to identify the gold ingot. It's just a gold
It's
ingot.
probably
It's
gold, but if somebody
stamped.
reported it,
Gold, you say?
it's gold.
Don't touch it.
It's stamped with a seal. It
It's
belongs
of
to
child-
someone.
And as the group you were in the room, bloodied as you are here, the like cloud of flies swarming on the hat box on top of the dresser would start to peel off from that a little bit to come be vaguely annoying in your direction. It is
Burns the flies. This stands near them. Your hair will catch it.
Like moths to a flame.
burn a couple of them up as they fly into Floblin's hair.
We'll just put
Is
some green-
anybody here trained in society?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
We live in a society.
Fair enough. We live in a society. That's about what we
Society
know
If
about.
I
doesn't
see
like me,
ranking that's
so-
higher than the rank I don't have, I do what they tell me to do. That's how
That is,
society works.
Private tells you,
So-
hey,
so-
go scrub that.
I
You have
will
nature, though, Miss Druid. Surely. Let me give you a
very,
nature
very
check.
much so.
I have nature as well. Can I
make-
assist?
yeah, you can assist or you can make your own.
No.
It's not
I'll make my own.
terribly-
Yeah, make my own.
No.
Just trust
Can I
me.
assist?
yes.
Yeah. Hey.
I mean, the only
I'm sorry,
real
you
useful
failed
thing I
every
might have
roll
is
today.
religion, but I
Yeah.
don't know if that's
I got a
gonna be used in
23.
anything.
I got a 21.
Plus
You
one.
trained or did you just? We got
I'm
plus
trained.
one? Oh, you're trained also.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm a hunter who spends most
That's
of his
fair.
time in the
That's
woods.
I got a 12.
fair.
Good aid. Well done.
Could have just taken care of it.
You
Well,
guys.
I rolled a 4.
As you're in here, I mean,
That's our
it's
bonus.
fairly common knowledge. You'll probably actually know. You're in a room with some like moldy bread crust and stuff, leftovers of Gaedren's meal. He's not a particularly clean person, obviously. Literal cockroaches on the table. The faggot, the flies, and the mites are all clouding around the hat box, not the table, with literally food scraps sitting on it.
What's in the box?
Does not speak
Oh, it ain't
well
nothing important.
to what is might be inside that box.
The head.
I'm gonna look at it.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Pulling it down.
Is it what I think it is?
Probably. What do you think
I
it is?
think it's a head.
It's a head.
It's a head.
You.
So they go in the hat box. The hat goes in.
There are two things
There might have been a hat put in the box.
inside the hat box. As you look at it, the first is a head. It is the head of a woman who appears to be middle-aged, and a simple glance at it tells you it was not put there this morning. It's. What's be trained in medicine?
I am.
You're trained. You have battle medicine. You can tell looking at it, it's been here at least a week, and has already started to mostly lose some of the softer bits left in there from those that have
Man
got in.
slept in this room.
He did for some time,
He's
apparently.
a monster.
Alongside it, there is a rectangular leather pouch, which is rigid, that seems to have just been tucked right next to the head, which was not very cleanly removed from its body either. All of you looking at the head in its current state, kind of starting to give its way back to nature as it is, it looks vaguely familiar to all of you. But you do all live in Corvosa. Would not be impossible that you've all come across the same person at some point.
Can we roll in trained?
Inside the leather box is a deck of hero cards. This is the head of Ariellen, the fortune teller.
Who? What? Who?
Ah. You see, I'm not going to think about that too hard because that's just some spooky stuff.
Huh.
There's ghosts involved apparently, and that's never good. I
Well-
can't-
She has very clearly been dead for some time.
Well, now wait a minute. Now, ghosts maybe, but also maybe she has a sister.
so
This is. It's possible. We shouldn't assume
sure.
that a ghost sent us here on a quest of. Actually, that happens an awful lot.
that
Arden
a-
will
that's a
will
very-
shakily take the hero cards out of your hands.
This is very interesting, Zen.
Can I roll religion to recount any stories of something like this happening from undead?
If you're trained in religion,
Yeah.
then you would have like the basic understanding. Like
vengeful
this
spirit.
is absolutely not impossible. That is, as a matter of
Yeah.
fact, that's like that's the thing that ghosts do. That's what makes a ghost.
Avenge
A lot
my
of the time.
murder!
I am definitely muttering some of Lubico scripture to see if I can quickly come up with like any stories or rumors in my goblin passings of.
Can you close the hat box, please?
I mean, I'm a religious caster, so
Yeah, we're gonna try
Thank
it.
you. This is very unnerving.
when are you all together?
It ain't exactly an uncommon story.
Oh, yes. That's why I said it was a ghost, probably. Even I've said
We
them.
should.
Oh, Abadar, please accept this woman's remains into your hallowed halls.
We-
Into the water.
No, so,
It's like, sploop. Just tosses it.
that's,
Buried
Here-
at sea.
With Floblin's 20 in religion, you kind of think back to the brief conversations that you had had with this group when you had first convened. and what you found. Each of you was led there by a card that just sort of showed up along your path. Found specifically by you, who had these connections to Gaedren, who had this drive to come after him. None of you knew each other, and none of you knew this woman. None of you had any work with Basilia previously. Most of you hadn't even heard of her. That is absolutely some ghost stuff right there.
Vengeful spirit is like.
Honestly, if anything, makes more sense than when you had
Oh,
first
it's a
arrived.
ghost.
But
I
you would definitely have heard of things similar to this, of vengeful spirits unable to enact their own revenge directly. And you would also know with that 20 that very frequently spirits and ghosts that linger in the material world are bound to a place or a thing. Their ghosts and specters are not simply free to just roam the world and do as they wish. They are usually bound to a site or an item of great importance to them.
Basilia,
Right. So,
Suddenly possessed.
so,
please.
I'm supposing that he already dropped the head
Please.
into the water.
Head's
after.
already been tossed in the
Okay.
water.
Please.
Wait.
Please help me find my nephew.
I say as he starts to lay out the cards on the floor in a reading.
I would.
That's
Pardon
a
me.
handy way to get
Alden,
possessed right there.
The Inquisitor.
If I may interject, just for a moment, may I see those cards just for a brief second, please?
Joke.
Why? What is the problem?
Wanderer.
There's just cards.
Well, I've heard many rumors from other practitioners of Lubaiko of vengeful spirits, and they usually bind themselves to something.
The Inquisitor.
Something.
Why would she? So if she is bound to the cards, then how did she show up in her shop? Which is how far away? Blocks.
Couple
Well,
blocks, yeah. It's
yes.
like a 3-minute walk.
So,
Well,
This-
if you recall, he digs into
this
his
is the
his
past.
coat and pulls out the card that he received.
Someone-
You know, or whatever. Like, if you recall, we each got a card, didn't we?
You wouldn't have
Listen-
the cards. You would have collected the cards.
Oh, yeah, that's right, my bad.
listen to
Sorry.
me. Right now.
Cards are
Here's-
there.
Someone-
Martin
here's-
has them.
Speaking of ooky, spooky
Arden,
ghost stuff.
I know you
And
want
Arden
to
is
find your
going
nephew,
crazy.
but do you have any idea what you're doing?
I'm not saying he might be possessed if he holds on to those for too long, but there's a chance.
So, anyways,
The Wanderer.
we got nothing then.
I would.
Her
The
spirit
only
wandered.
leads we have is the old man upstairs, the half pint
The
upstairs,
present.
and the man I killed upstairs,
The hidden truth.
who is dead. He is no help.
The war works. The wax works.
Well-
It's still flipping through this stupid ledger, and like, oh, this page is
This-
The
awful.
ledger, as you're
Sickness.
looking through it, you can't even immediately tell what exactly it's a record of because it is clearly coded to some extent. Even here in Varesia, the common tongue is Taldane because that's, well, just like the language of the inner seas, and Corvos is largely a city of trade and business and crime. But this ledger is written in Varesian. If any of you speak Varesian, you can read Varesian.
Aunt Maddie taught me.
It's not just in Varesian. It is also coded and would take you some time to sit down and figure out what exactly that it could tell you.
Do you have any friends in this town that are good at codes?
The
At this
Tangled
point,
Riot.
you start to hear a loud clanging bell outside echoing over the city.
The
something that
uprising.
you would definitely immediately recognize as the Corvosan alarm. It is the town guard, like, citywide alert.
I turned over the uprising. What does that mean?
It's cards. I don't know what it means,
Let
but
me just
that's
say,
the alert bell.
The timing of you saying the bell rings and you laying down the uprising card.
The
So-
uprising.
I would like to say I
It
wrote
burns
that
in my
down,
It burns.
like 2 hours
That's-
ago.
I think you're just going crazy, Arden. Anyways, you're a stone druid, not a card druid.
I wrote that down about 2 hours ago.
What are you guys doing here? The alarm bells are usually a citywide alert. They have been used in times of war and when an invading force is approaching. They have been used
Well-
in times of the city distress.
All right.
Keep in mind the order you got those cards in for your reading. Well, we got to go. Something ain't right.
I can.
All right,
I remember.
All right.
That means the only way back up is through the creaky ship.
Up and out does not seem super easy without making your way up to the decks of the
That makes
Kraken's,
sense.
whatever it was called, I forgot.
Kraken's Folly.
Kraken's Folly, thank you.
The rope is still hanging down.
Yeah, the rope's also 8 feet out from the pier. It'd be... You could technically go back up that way, but that doesn't seem wise.
Let's go. Let's get in the boat and take the boat to shore.
As you make your way back out of the pier, out of this building, you can hear that some of these murmurs, these shouts from earlier are now clamorous cries and shouts. It sounds like riots out in the city, not far from the fishery you're currently at. And as you make it out to the small dinghy, move your way back to the embankment, you can see the glow of fires in the distance lighting up the night sky.
The king is dead.
I think we're gonna have a hard time turning our prisoners into the guard.
The king is dead.
The king is dead.
Town criers throughout the streets
The king is
spread
dead.
the news. And as you make your way, what was that? As you make your way up the embankments here into the absolute madness.
There's that one guy.
Someone was
walking
really
down the road.
upset that the king is dead.
No, many people are extremely upset that the king is dead.
Long
The
live the
weird
queen.
monster noise.
You emerge into a city that has fully and completely given itself to madness. The streets filled with torches and pitchforks, riotous mobs, and the clamor of steel rings out through the streets.
Oh my gosh.
You can see fires in the distance. You can see a squadron of hippogriffs overhead as a detachment of Sable Company Marines flies out towards Castle Corvosa at the heart of the city. The
Wow.
king is dead, and this news seems to have tipped Corvosa over the edge of anarchy.
You'll hear Arden say in an almost haunted voice, "Long live the queen."
This is I'm just gonna start ignoring that one.
You couldn't
He's a
just-
little crazy.
You couldn't just.
So
2 years and no air.
isn't this that curse everyone in the
I need to
town
check on my
talks about?
father.
It's the curse of the Crimson Throne. And
I'll-
unfortunately, it seems to have come true once again.
We need to meet up again after this. We need to talk about what to do with Gaedren Lamm stuff, but I have to check on my father. Where can I check? Where can we meet?
There's a rope shop that way.
Wait, where are we?
Follow those ropes. I'll probably be around that area. I haven't.
Hey.
Rope store. I know it.
When did we get up
Yes.
here?
Darren's running.
We've been walking for about.
Darren immediately takes off running in the city, going to check on his family.
Tomorrow
The rest of
morning, there's a rope shop that way. You can't miss it.
Can I go with you?
I don't see why not. Ain't much, but I got in my own house.
I don't even know where I
problem.
am.
There's still some of those children orphans lingering about. You might want to take them wherever you take orphans. An orphanage, maybe.
Well, I can't really say I know much of that, but I can take him into the edge of the city where it's safer.
Yes, you do that. I'm just gonna go that way.
As the group of you disperse, Darren taking off to sprint, the rest of you slowly scattering to pick your way through the city, seeing more and more of the chaos that has consumed the streets of Corvosa. Businesses seemingly randomly set aflame, massive pyres lit at major intersections, surrounded by shouting mobs. Rioters throughout West Pier calling for the head of Queen Iliosa. Guards, in many places, forced to attempt to bring their swords to bring order and peace back to the city. We'll have to see next week what lies in the future. The beating. The cards symbolizing attack from all sides, an onslaught from every direction, chaos. Well, it was pulled for the present. It heralded the avalanche. That's going to be it for us today, everybody. As you all make your way back to your homes,
Try not to get caught up in the Corvosan riot.
if you can make it there and rest on the events, wild as they are of this day, Well, there's a lot to learn from his experiences and a lot to be gained. We're all level 2. My friends,
Fancy.
nobody died at level 1.
No one died. It was a near thing.
You tried.
So
Best.
if you hadn't gotten back up,
And 13 damage.
10 plus 4 is
Oh, no.
drug. Oh no. Gaedren Lamm slain.
Revenge.
His lambs on site at the fishery freed. His operation destroyed. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of a guard that'll have time to handle the rest of his men. We'll just have to see what we can do from here. We'll be back next week, everybody, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, noon Pacific, for a Corvosa Lost to Madness. Thanks for being here. Oh, I love the end
I
of
have
level
assurance
1.
athletics.
Oh, it's a good twist.
I have assurance athletics.
A good pick.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Yeah.
Thank you, of course, to Paizo for creating this adventure, this wonderful tome here. We're running the Curse the Crimson Throne and sponsoring our show on their network. Our other partner, Sirenscape. We get to use an actual official sound set here. I don't have to make this one myself. It's nice. It's got everything.
I wonder if
It's
Sirenscape normally
fantastic.
has a "The King is Dead" being shouted.
Literally does, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you hear
I
it?
thought
Yeah.
I thought that was custom made for this
No,
sound
that's,
set.
I haven't-
That's
we haven't-
actually
we haven't
it?
added anything.
That's amazing.
These are the official sound sets for Crimson Throne.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, that's awesome.
how'd you like that guess I wrote down, by the way?
Pretty good. That's pretty good. Thanks to Norse Foundry for all the dice that Derp's been flinging across the table, squeezing them out of his bandolier here. And Arkin Forge.
That always seemed to roll 20s and
Good night. Everyone enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hopefully we'll see you here next week with more of The Hook. And boy, is
this is a hook.
that a hook.